Nope. Oh, wait a minute. Look here. It just moved. Oh, yeah. What in the world, man? This week on This and That Garage, we will be attempting to see if this old truck will run and possibly drive, but I do know the motor is stuck, and I'll tell you how I know that in just a minute. A couple years ago, I attempted a wheel it run on this, and she was stuck pretty bad, and I quit on it because the way the front end is, you can't get anything on the front of the motor, so I gave up on it. Let's pop the hood real quick, see what we're working with under here. Kind of nasty, yep, ain't gonna lie. I just now noticed this. This looks like little claw marks from mice and rats. For something to reach from here over to here and do that scratching, that was not a mouse yet, that was a large rat. So that's what we're dealing with here. I hope I didn't bring them over here to Mama's. Anyway, belts are gone. The hose has been eaten off by the mice. And you can see right down in here, there's just no room to get anything on the crank bolt or get my strap wrench in there. Too tight. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna remove the hood. We're gonna remove the whole front end so I can get to the front of that motor. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a job, but you know how MLS is. Before we do that though, I wanna crawl back under it, get a pry bar on the flywheel. I don't know how much y'all will be able to see because it's kind of cramped under here. The frame is in the way of getting a pry bar on the flywheel. I think I had to use the crooked end last time. Let's see if I can do it this time. Alright. I can't even get my arms up under here. You'd think a big old truck would have a bunch of room underneath it, but it don't. Well, this ain't letting me even grab a hold up, so I don't know how I did it last time. I really don't. Let me try it over here. Get stuff in my eyeballs. Huh. Just swallowed a big blob of grease. That's good. Well, fellas, I don't know how I did this last time because there's no way to get on this flywheel. So let's just go back up top and go to tear it apart. It's the only thing I know to do. Y'all look who showed up. Come here, girl. Come here, you crazy fool. Oh, Miss Daisy. Say hello, everybody. How you been doing? You come over and get some bologna or turkey or something, didn't you? Oh, get on me, you crazy dog. Are you insane, girl? All right, go get you some bologna. Well, I think I understand now why I quit on this. It's just a very inconvenient vehicle to try to work on. Before we pull this front end off, though, let me get my camera out. We'll stick it in each hole, see what we got. Because I did fill this thing up with transmission fluid. It's been sitting here for 2 years with that in it. Although, you know, spark plugs have not been in the hole, so that could be bad. But anyway, let's see what we got. Maybe the transmission fluid has, you know, broke it free finally over 2 years. There is no room at all in the engine bay, front to back. Now, there's a lot side to side. There's plenty side to side. But front to back, no, sir. They didn't leave hardly any room at all. I don't think a big block would fit in here. Nope. I wonder if LS would. I'm just thinking out loud. Anyway, let's check these cylinders. Here's the back one. Well, I can't really see nothing but the top of the piston. This one, the piston's at the top. It is wet, so hopefully that's the transmission fluid and not wooders from rain. Next one. Oh yeah, it's down at the bottom. The cylinder's got surface rust. Let me get a different angle. It ain't too bad. No, let's look at the front one here. It's got some gel looking stuff, but it is wet. Hopefully just transmission fluid again. Here's a side view. Yeah, that's transmission fluid, possibly a little water. It may not be good, fellas. Let me go look at the other side and I'll report back and tell you what I got. Well, fellas, might have some bad news on this cylinder here. It's close to the top. It's hard for me to get a good look at it, but it's full of liquid. whether or not it's Wooders or transmission fluid and acetone. I'm sure the acetone is already evaporated. But if it's Wooder from rain, that ain't good. The hood's been shut, but spark plugs have been out. And I guess rain could have trickled down through here and hit that exhaust and went over in there. Let me do this. I'm gonna see if I can't suck some of that fluid out and see if it is transmission fluid or if it's water. Either way, we're still gonna keep going, but I'd like to know what we're working with. I'll let you know in a minute. Well, I was looking for a turkey baster, can't find one. Dollar store don't sell one. All I've got is this battery checker. So let me see if I can't suck some of the nasty out. And let's see what it is. I hope it ain't water, but I'm betting it is. Oh yeah. That is, I don't know if y'all can see how clear that is. That's straight water. It sure is. Well, that's not good, fellas. That's not good at all. Well, here are my thoughts. We ain't giving up. No, sir. I want to hear this thing run. We got one cylinder that's going to give us, you know, it's going to be the problem child. But let's just go ahead, pull the front end off, get something on the front of the motor. You never know. It may break free pretty easy. Or we may end up taking the heads off. I am willing to do that. You know, beat on that one piston if we have to. But let's just start with putting something on the front of that crank. I think we'll start by taking the bat wing hood off as one assembly. There's 2 bolts here and I think 2 up front. Holy crap! What in the world's going on here? Ooh. All right, that's good for it. I think I got everything loose. I also know, by the way, you see this right here? That's a big chunk of Bondo. The entire roof is nothing but Bondo. So that's good. Anyway, let me see if I can get this off here. This time, it's just very awkward, and I don't know what the devil's going on with it, but it's very, very awkward to handle. Oh yeah, here we go. Ooh. I want to get this grill and stuff off next, and it's got Phillips screws that have probably never been turned since the truck was built, so this should be fun. Yeah, they ain't turning. No, sir. What about the rest of them? Yeah, that there's turning. Last one right here. This grill should come out now, unless there's some at the top. There we go. Yep, there went my spacers. I'll have to go get a magnet here in a minute, because I've dropped several screws out of that grill. 64 years later, I finally got the fan shroud out of the way. So now, with this radiator, come up out of this truck, please, and thank you. Nope. There we go, there we go. Goodness gracious alive. Well, that ain't coming out. I'm gonna have to lift it straight up. I gotta get at least the fan out of the way. That water pump. Well, it quietened up. It sounded rough there for a second, but I don't feel any play. Anyway, let me get this fan out of the way real quick. All right, that fell right off. I don't understand this pulley. That's weird. I don't know nothing about these International motors. I did do just a wee bit of studying last night. Well, that feller still ain't gonna come out. Let me see if this will spin some kind of way. There we go. Look here, fellers. My head is useful for something more than a hat rack sometimes. Well, here's the moment of truth, fellers. Chapter 2, if you will. Will it turn over? Well, let's just see. What is it gonna do? Oh yeah, she's she's stuck, fellers. I may be wasting my time here. Yeah. Oh yeah, that ain't a budging. That is locked up tighter than Fort Knox. Yeah, all I'm doing is loosening the bolt right there. She ain't a turning. No, sirree. Nope. Locked up tighter than Dick's hat band. Well, I reckon we're fixing to tear this motor apart. Yep, because I don't think there's even any need to put my pipe wrench on there, because I'm telling you, she is stuck really, 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 really bad. Oh, yeah. Well, it looks like it's going to rain, and we're about to run out of daylight here in, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes. So let me cover this up, and then tomorrow, bright and early, we'll start tearing the top of this motor off and go and look at the cylinders and pistons, and hopefully we can get this thing broke free. One last thing before I go to the house. Let's pull this drain plug out of the Earl pan. Does it have Earl, Wooders, or nothing in it? We're fixing to find out. A little bit of water. It wasn't bad. That's mostly oil there now. All right, we got our answer on that. So at least it ain't, you know, just plumb full of water. I think we got one problem cylinder. Maybe we can fix it up tomorrow. Before we head on out and work on the old International truck today, let me tell you about the sponsor of this week's video, Brunt Boots. I'm fixing to make a claim that I don't normally make bold claims like this, but it's quite possible that this is the most comfortable work boot that I've ever had on my foot. Let me tell you why. As soon as I took them out of the box, I was like, okay, these are fairly lightweight. You know, most work boots are just heavy and clunky. These felt pretty good in my hands. Put them on my feet, started walking. That's when I knew, yep, I like these boots a lot. Brunt is known for not needing a break-in period. That is very true. I've been wearing them for 3 or 4 days now, working on this old truck out here. And it's like I've been wearing them for 6 months. They're completely broke in. Very flexy, if you will. You know, most work boots, well, for me anyway, they absolutely kill my feet, knees, back, hips for a week or two till you get them broke in. Not these boots, no sir. And the insole, I normally will have to put an insole in a new pair of boots. Not these. Nope, they feel wonderful. They are oil slip and heat resistant. The sole is up to 572 degrees. Now, I don't encourage you to go walking through fire or a bed of coals, but if you happen to step on something hot, well, you'll probably be okay. We all know how bad my knees are. They're pretty bad. And like I said, I've been wearing these boots for 3 or 4 days. It has not negatively affected my knees at all. No, sir. I do believe I have found my new brand of boots. It's going to be Brunt Boots. Yep. Y'all go check them out. There'll be a link here on the screen. There'll be a link in the description below. Use code this and that 10. Get you $10 off your first order of $60 or more. Go check them out. Appreciate it, Brunt. Let's go work on the old truck. Well, hello, dear. I guess you're going to come visit me every day this week, ain't you? Say hello, everybody, again. You been doing all right today? Mama ain't here right now, so you can't get no bologna. You have to wait for a little while. She don't care about me. She wants some bologna. Today's the next day, and some things happened last night in my little pea brain that we're going to try here today. Well, I watched this first video. Oh, I skimmed through it. And remember me telling you I had a crooked pry bar, and that's what let me turn the flywheel? Well, I had the wrong pry bar. Yeah. That pry bar was in a different toolbox, so I got it in the back of the truck here. We're going to climb under it and see if we can get that pry bar on it, get it to move. Hopefully we can. If we can get it to move, break free, then we can get on the front of the motor here, hopefully get it turned over, get it freed up. If that don't work, I think I will go ahead and pull the water pump and that crank pulley. We'll put our chain wrench on there and see what happens with it. But let's crawl up on it first. See, hopefully, fingers crossed really good, that we can break it free. Getting too old for this stuff. Climbing under these old vehicles. All right, let us see if I can get on it now. Also, oh, by the way, I put transmission fluid in each cylinder last night too. You know, because I really don't want to tear this apart. But if we have to, we will. But see, I can get on it with this here pry bar, but it ain't wanting to. Oh no, I don't think she's gonna move, fellas. Oh, wait a minute, look here, it just moved. Oh yeah, awesome, awesome, and awesome. It's stuck extremely bad, but she just broke free. Yeah, I mean, it will barely turn. This is probably worse than lockjaw, because it's taking all I got to make it barely move. Awesome. I'll tell you what, let me fool with this a little while, and then we may get on the front of the motor with crank bolt and see what we can do out there. But yeah, it did at least break free. Awesome, man. Oh yeah. Still up under the truck, prying on this with a pry bar. It's turned. I've got it maybe a quarter of a revolution. It's got slow going. It's really stuck. But as I'm laying here, well, let me show you what happened. This creature right here appeared and thinks that she can just lay on me while I'm trying to work on this truck. Yep. Say hello everybody again today. You'll probably see her every day that I'm over here. She thinks she lives over here. Anyway, Mama ain't home, so you can't get no bologna right now, but you're gonna have to get off of me, girl. Anyways, let me keep working on this motor. Hopefully it'll free up eventually. Well, here's an update. I said fool you on that underneath, and managed to get my chain wrench on this pulley here without having to take stuff off, and it is taking all I've got to turn it with that chain wrench, but it is turning just a little bit. I don't know if this is gonna come loose or not, fellas. I'm debating on whether or not just go ahead and pull the whole motor out, tear it apart. It's probably like the old Fairmont. Remember it last year? It had one cylinder, one piston that was really crudted, and that's what had it locked up. We took that apart, cleaned that cylinder and piston up, and you know, it started up. That's probably what's going on with this 246 number 6 cylinder. Let me keep working with it for a little while. Well, as a matter of fact, let me set the camera up and I'll show you how hard it is still to turn. I got about a 6-inch throw here I can work with, and yeah, it's pretty rough, fellers. Oh yeah, I was having to use my foot on it, but now I can just use my hands. So, well, I guess we're making progress. Let me go a little more. Oh yeah, goodness. Yeah, I'm thinking we're fighting a losing battle here. Let me keep on working with it for a little while. Heave ho. Heave. Oh yeah, she's stuck right there. Let me get my foot up here. Oh yeah, that's good for a fellow with bad knees. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think she just stopped right there for some reason. But I think I have made it about a full turn now. Oh, it went on around. Whew. Well, I'm wore out. I got to take a break. I'll be back if I got any kind of progress to update you with. Probably not, though. Well, y'all ain't gonna believe me unless I show you. Watch this right here, though. I couldn't do that about 30 minutes ago. Nope, sure couldn't. She's still got some pretty rough spots, but like that right there. Ooh, yeah, she just quit on me. There we go. Like I said, she still got some pretty rough spots, but we are through chapter 2 of Will It Turn Over? Yes, it will. Close that chapter, open the next one. Will it turn over freely? With the starter? I don't know. I'll let you know in here in a little while. Heave ho, heave ho. Well, here is the deal, fellers. Progress has stopped. It really has. I've been turning on this thing for quite some time, and the hard spots, they're not getting any easier. No, sir. So I went to the house, I got me some Croil oil. I also got me some P&B Blaster. Yep. I'm fixing to put that in each and every cylinder. I'm gonna spin it over by hand a little bit. Hopefully that stuff will help cut the crud and the rust out of the way. And I brought a battery. Might hook it up, see if the starter will turn it over. If it does, it does, easily, we'll let that starter do all the work, and it'll spin it over faster and maybe, Middle loosen that stuff up, knock it out of the way. I ain't got nothing to lose. Anyway, let's fill the cylinders up and see what happens. Let's see how good my aim is. Oh, it ain't bad. There you go. There you go. There you go. I ain't putting a whole lot. And they're still full of transmission fluids. Let me give you a little bit of this here P&B also. Get in there, little buddy. I wonder why that one is still full. It should have done, you know, shot all that out. Anyway, let me hit the other side and we'll turn it over and see what it does. Is the coil of oil P&B blaster going to help us or not? Probably not, but fellas, we got to try everything. Y'all know me, I don't give up real easy. Ooh. Oh, yeah. It ain't helping yet. I'll report back in a little while and let you know if it eased up anymore. Well, here's the deal. It's still got just as many hard spots, but they do seem to be a little bit easier to get through. I got my bantry, fixing to hook her up to the starter. But this red ground, she's pretty rough looking. So I'm gonna go cut this off and fix it and put it back on here, and we're gonna see what the starter will do. I don't have an end for this cable, so what we're gonna do, take this big old whoosher, put it right back here with this bolt. We're gonna put this wire under that whoosher. But I don't know if grounding it to the body right here is gonna be good enough. So we may have to ground it to the motor if this don't work. Let's just see what this does. All right, put this little feller right there. Whoop on it a little bit. Well, it just broke. Alrighty then. Got everything hooked up. What does she do? Well, she just clicks. I don't know if that's due to the motor being tight or is the starter, you know, something wrong with it. I wonder if I could try to help it out. Let me get a small ratchet instead of this big old long breaker bar. Yeah, I'll give her some help and see what happens. We'll put this ratchet right here and let's see what happens. Ain't nothing gonna happen because I can't turn it with this ratchet. Oh no. No, the starter will never. Oh, no, starter ain't gonna turn that. Absolutely not. Well, I don't know what to do here, fellas, because we ain't making no progress now. Let me do some thinking, as my father would say, and I'll be back in a little while. I'll let you know what we're gonna do. Today's the next day again. It's actually about 3 days later. It rained Saturday and Sunday's a day of rest. That's what I did. I hope you did the same. We are here Monday, and well, we ain't got but one option left. I've cranked and cranked on that thing manually, and it's not freeing up anymore. And if the starter won't turn it over, then well, we can't start it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're fixing to pull that motor out of this thing. Yep, gonna take it to the shop, give it the best backyard butchery money can buy rebuild, and put it back in here, and hopefully it'll run then. Yep, so let us get busy, get this thing pulled out. There ain't a whole lot to undo, but there are a few things, and that little fella there won't come loose. Let me get some shanty locks. We got throttle that we got to undo, exhaust pipe, you got motor mount in the front, bell housing bolts, a vacuum line throttle cable, and then she should come on out. I'm looking to see if I need to pull that alternator. I don't think so, so we'll probably be okay. The only problem I can see is these little fellers here. If I can't get up high enough, we'll just have to wait and see, but I think we can get her on out. Get this fella out of the way. Actually, let's put it over here. Come on over there. There you go, little buddy. I'll pull the carb last. But for now, Let me get underneath and get the exhaust loose. Bell housing bolts. Well, this ain't working out for me. When I get these exhaust bolts loose, I shall return and maybe we can pull this motor out. Well, I finally got all the exhaust bolts loose. I got the bell housing bolts loose. Now, I think we'll remove the whole motor mount. I'm gonna leave 2 bolts in though, because if I do that, it's probably gonna drop. So I'll wait till I get hooked up to the tractor. Then I'll take the last 2 bolts out. There's a one. I think I'm gonna take this alternator off. That way I believe it'll come straight through the front without having to pick it way up. I believe that'd be the easiest route of extraction. Ta-da! Only thing left is the carb. All right, now, can I set this up here out of the way? No, because this is gonna have to come loose so I can rebuild it. So I don't know how I'm gonna get that loose. Well, I figured out how you get this choke cable loose is with this universal removal tool. You just cut it like that and look at there. It's removed. All right. As soon as we can get this plate on, I gotta go get the tractor. Then we can pick this little feller up. Well, I got the tractor here with the boom attachment. If you will recall, last time we used this boom attachment, I believe it was on the old station wagon over there trying to pull the motor out. And it didn't go very well, no, so we rainbowed this boom pretty good, but maybe it'll do good enough to pull this motor out. We're fixing to find out. Approximately right there, if it'll stay. Let us get this chain hooked up, and I believe it's gonna come out pretty easily because it's already rocking to and fro, so it's broke loose from the transmission pretty good. I'm gonna try it in the middle hole right here. All right, let me go up with it and see what happens. If we got anything still attached, we do. I completely forgot about the starter wire. Let me unhook that. Then I think we'll be ready. Actually, let me pick it up. That way I can get to that starter wire stuff easier. We're trying to catch on our oil pan. There we go, right there, look at there. She just bounced free, fellers. Let me make sure nothing else is hooked up. I don't see anything. I ripped my ground strap into because I forgot it, so that's good. We'll have to fix that. I think everything else is loose. Let me see if it'll go on up. Now I believe it'll come out. Let's try it. Wait a minute, wait a minute. My exhaust over here's hanging up. It's rough when you gotta work by yourself. Well, it come out now. Oh, look at there, fellers. Well, I was afraid that might happen, and it did. I don't know when it did it. There's a pretty good bump right down here. When I went across the bump, or it's a dip actually, I looked back and this was, you know, still fairly straight. I get here fixing to back up and It's almost dragging the ground. If it'll just let me get it in the shop without breaking completely, we'll be all right. There you have it, fellas. We are in the shop. Holy crap, that thing's heavy. Oh yeah. Let me get the disc out. Firstly, remember it goes that to the back. Oh yeah. That ain't very heavy. Well, this ain't gonna work on this motor. Not in them holes anyway. So, let me rethink this. I'll be back when I get this figured out. Well, that took about 64 years. I know, still only got 3 bolts. It's not wide enough. Whatever. Let's put her on 3 bolts. Maybe it'll hold it. She's portly. Yeah. Got this little feller bowed pretty good. Let's hurry up and get some weight off of it before it breaks my engine stand. The only thing I know to do is start taking stuff off. I think we'll start with this water pump right here. Will it come off with a pry bar? Oh, I don't even need a pry bar. It's already loose. This hose is holding it. And this pipe over here. Oh yeah, there we go. Ah yeah, make a good mess. All right. Well, let me let that finish draining and clean this up. I'll be back. To the garbage you go, sirs and ma'ams. We'll get the distributor out of the way. They've got a metal vacuum line for the vacuum advance. That goes back here. I don't know the firing order. And I don't know which cylinder's 1, which one's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gotta look all that up. Now, will this feller turn? No, sir. No, sir, sure won't. Nope. Let me get something on this. I hope I don't break that. Oh, yeah, that hurt. Oh, that hurt. Oh, me. Yeah, that ain't a happening, Captain. No, sir. Aluminium to steel. Yeah, that ain't happening. Let me fool with this a little bit more. Let me spray this. Clean it up first and spray it with some coil of oil. We may have put some heat on it too. Well, this is piled full of probably rat poo-poo, and I'm probably gonna get the hantavirus, but I hope not. Well, I got this side over here a lot cleaner, but this is what it looked like. I don't know what this is. I guess it's grease, oil mixed with dirt probably, but I've never seen it this bad on an intake. Very odd. Anyways, let me get these bolt heads uncovered or I will never get the intake off. There's 1 or 2, these ones here. They look pretty round, so this may be a job just getting this thing tore apart. Well, I got it cleaned up a lot better than it was. There was some mouse pepe in there because, yep, I smelt it. But this is, I got some stuff cleaned up. This is just like a small block shimmy lay. Firing order. Let me get down here where you can see it, maybe. 1843657 We got a 7 right there. Nothing here, but there's a 1 in here. You probably can't see it. Then we got us a 2 right here. So it's just like small block shimmy lay. Let me put y'all back on the camera stand and see if we can get that distributor out of the way. I'm gonna gently tap on it with a Hummer. But she feels pretty doggone solid. I tell you what we might have to do. Pull that front cover off and maybe work on it from the other side. I don't know. I'm gonna try not to break it though, because, well, I don't have another one. Let's continue on and get this stuff out of the way. I think we can pull the intake too. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Let me get a ratchet, because that's feeling pretty doggone rough. Yeah, I'm afraid that's gonna break off. Probably will. Oh yeah, that's gonna break. I'm wondering if it's, you know, see how tall this is. I'm wondering if it's hung up right here with a bunch of crud. So I'm gonna try to work it free back and forth like this. Maybe it'll come loose eventually. No luck. It's moving, but it's probably twisting off. That's where it's hung up, is the bolt to the housing. It's not the threads. So you can turn this pretty easy. The bolt turns with it, so it ain't the threads. Let me put some heat to it, see if that'll help us out. Did that help me out any at all? Probably not. Yeah, it's moving. Oh, look at here. It's puffing out smoke too. Oh yeah, we got her now, boys. Oh, yeah, ain't nothing a little heat can't take care of. Probably going to put some on the distributor too. Let's see what happens. Nope, can't get on that one. Can't get on that one. That one's rounded. That one's rounded. Well, that's good. I got I got 2 bolts out of that side there. Let me get a different socket and maybe a universal joint to help on some of these. That one there, we're going to either have to cut it off with a plasma cutter or knock it off with a chisel, because that's just about round as a nail head. Sure enough is. All right, let me see if this will help me out any at all. Nope. Just a spinning. Well, fellas, I don't know. Here's the deal, fellas. I got 1, 2, 3, well, 2 bolts out, and then this one loosened up. Rest of them, they're not, nope, they ain't cooperating. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this here bolt, weld it to the top of them, and hopefully I can turn them out. But they're real rusty, so I'm gonna hit them with this. Give me some good clean metal to weld with, or weld to. We'll try this one right here firstly. All right, will it or won't it break free? Oh, look at here, fellas. Oh, yeah. Let's try another one real quick like. All right, well, this one here break free. Wait a minute, that's the one. That's the one that was already free, you dummy. Let me get on a different one. My goodness gracious. There's something wrong with my brain, man. I'm telling you. Will it or won't it this time? Ooh. Not yet. Did it go? Oh yeah. All right, that's numero 2-0. Let me get the rest of these, and I got to work on these over here too. I'll be back in a little while. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? All these came out except for these 2. These are the only ones I had to weld over here. As soon as I get these out, pile of bolts there. As soon as I get these out, we will pull this intake. And then valve covers, hopefully heads. Probably it for tonight, but I want to see them cylinders before I go in the house. Yep. So let's hurry and get this done. The valve covers are being held on with flathead screws. Why, International? Why? That ain't breaking free. Where's my Hummer? Why did they do a lot of stuff they did? I don't know, but I guess they didn't take into account a dumb YouTuber would be trying to tear this motor apart 61 years later. Yep. Anyway, I gotta have something different here to get these loose. Maybe these right here are coming loose though. Nope, not yet. Come on, man. Nope, that one ain't. Yeah, that in there came loose. What about this in here? There we go, that in there broke. Oh, nope, not yet. That in there ain't either. Let me work on these. I told y'all this was going to be a job tearing this thing apart. I got to have something better than this. Yep. I forgot about my impact screwdriver here. Let's see if that'll help us out. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, it did then, but I broke my... No, it didn't. I broke my tip. Well, back to the drawing board. Let me see what I can do with this chisel right here. Well, I have managed to get all of them loose, except for these two right here. I got all them on that side too. I'm whooping on it with this, what is this called? Chisel. I ain't doing no good on these two. No, sir. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. She just turned on me, fellers. Oh, look at here. She's turning now. Get out of there. Safe to say we're not going back with these little fellers. No, sir. We're going back with regular old bolts. One more. Will it come free? She moved just a wee bit. Yep. It ain't budging. Nope, sure ain't. Tell you what, let me put some heat to it real quick. Did that do any good? Let me get my glasses. I don't want some hot garbage flying in my eyeball. Oh yeah, she turned in. Oh yeah, look at here, last one, fellers. All right, let's pull this valve cover off. I meant to pull this intake off a minute ago. I just completely forgot. I got started on this, but what do we have? What does it look like? Oh my goodness gracious, alive. Ooh, that is terrible. I don't know that this thing's going to run, fellers. Golly. Holy and the crap-oly. What in the world, man? I was expecting it to be a little bad, but good grief, man, this is ridiculous. I hate to see the rest of the motor, the bottom end. This is worse than the old Packard motor that's in the diesel over there. Wow. Let's pull the other one off. I'm sure it's just as bad. Yep, it's just as bad. Wow. Let's pull the intake off, and I may see if these rocker bolts will come loose. If they will, we'll go ahead and take them off and then pull the heads off. Here we go, fellers. All right, let's get this intake off. Well, that come right off. Sure did. It probably weighs about 942 pounds. Yep. It's really heavy. Golly, Pete. Oh, yeah. Let me get the vacuum and get some of this rust up real quick. Man, that looks terrible. Well, I would say that looks better, but I'd be lying. But let's just see if these fellers will break free. I'm going to use my ratchet. I don't want to break them if I don't have to. That won't even go on there. I was not expecting this at all. Oh yeah, that broke free. Here's what I want to do. Now that I see how bad these are, this may be what's got it all notchy feeling. Let's pull. Ooh, that in there scared me a little bit. Let's pull the rocker assembly off both heads. And then I'm gonna turn the crank over. Let's just see what it feels like. All right. Get her loose. Man, look at the nastiness. Goodness gracious alive. Push rods are just as bad. I'm gonna say the lifter bally is just as bad too. Good grief. Look at them. Got them both off without breaking any bolts, so that's awesome. Here's what I want to do now. Just, you know, because we can. I want to peck on these valves and see if any of them are stuck or if they're, you know, bouncing back. Yep, that's good. Yep. Uh-oh. Okay, it started. Yeah, it's good. What about the other side? Well, that's amazing, but none of them are stuck. Now let's get on the crank and turn it over and see if it's smoothed up any. Moment of truth. Does it turn over easy with a ratchet? Yeah. Well, no, it's still, it's still pretty bad, yeah. So, let's go ahead and pull ahead, because that tells us the cylinders are pretty bad, because it just stopped right there. Oh, yeah, it won't turn at all. Nope. And I'm sure these weigh about 1,200 pounds a piece. I really don't want to drop them. No. Oh, wait a minute. Our valley cover is attached to them. Now, what does this lifter valley look like? Ain't no telling. Pretty bad. Yep. About like I thought. Lots and lots of rust. Let me vacuum that out real quick. Hoo-wee. Y'all pray for my back and my knees, because I imagine this ain't gonna be light. Oh yeah. It ain't too bad. Well, it's pretty nasty, you know, with all the transmission fluids in there, but so far, well, she's got some ridge, a little bit. Those are some weird looking pistons though, big old dished out spots. I bet that sucker didn't have 7.5 to 1 compression with that going on. Anyway, let's pull the other head, then we'll clean these up and rotate it over and look at the cylinders and see how bad they are. But looking at this one here with this garbage, that one looks like the bad one. I thought it was gonna be this one. Pretty disgusting. That's water and transmission fluid there. That's the one that had the water standing in it. All right, let's turn this little feller till we get each cylinder. Goodness gracious, that thing is so rough. Anyway, get each cylinder to the bottom. We're gonna start with the one that I think's the problem child. And let me wipe it out. And we'll just have a look-see. Well, I don't really see anything bad. I mean, it's got rust, but I don't even feel it. Well, a little bit right there, but no. I don't think that's the issue. I believe it may be crank or rod bearings. Let's get this one on the bottom, see what it looks like. Where's this one right here? I don't see nothing. Nope. I don't feel nothing until you get right up here at the top, about like this in here. Let me run through the rest of them and see what I find. Well, here's the deal, fellers. I've looked at every one of them, and they're all about the same. You can see where they had rust, and then we broke it free, and the rings and the pistons scraped the rust away. But none of them, yeah, they don't feel bad except for right up here at the top around the ring ridge. I'm starting to think now that we probably got rod and or main bearing issues. That's where the roughness and notchiness is coming from. I did not order bearings. Let me flip it over. I was fixing to go in the house, but now I'm a little concerned. Let me flip it over, pull the pan. We'll pull the rod and main bearing off and see what they look like. What in the world? It's got 2 Phillips head screws down here. This thing's been apart before, I bet. Tell you something else we need to do too. Since I think it may have been apart before, I need to measure the bore, because the rings I got are for a standard bore. Moment of truth, fellas. Is it as bad as the rocker arms were? 1, 2, 3. Well, it's rusty. There you look at it, it's rusty, but nowhere near as bad. That would have been okay, but I'm wondering now if this is this dry and rusty, then the notchiness is most likely going to be bearings. Yep. Let's pull a main and a rod off and see what we got going on. All right, what we got? Well, they are rusty. Let me wipe that off. There's definitely some wear, but I mean, that right there ain't bad. So I don't know what's going on. It still could be piston and cylinder, I guess. Let's pull the rod off real quick. It's not dry, but there's rust on these chamfers, these shoulders. Oh yeah, that feels pretty rough there. As far as grit. So that very well could be what's going on. Yep, could be. Anyway, I don't think we need new bearings from what I've seen from these two. Yeah, let me show you real quick. The bearing itself, I mean, it's got a little wear. You can see some copper down in there. But it ain't bad. Where did the rod bearing go? Right here. Let me show you that one. See, it ain't, it's got wear, but it ain't bad. Which way did this go, by the way? I did not pay attention. I'll have to look at the others. Anyway, you look here. Let me get a light where you see better. Look here at that crank. Let me get a pointer. See right in here where that chamfer is? It's really rusty. I'm wondering if that's what's got us notchy, sort of locked up. Not sure. You can see it here too, all the rust down in here. That could be it, or it could be still, the cylinder and piston all just cruddied up. We'll find out tomorrow for sure though. Tomorrow evening is when we will completely disassemble this thing. I got homework to do tomorrow, yep. Springtime's here pretty much, and weeds are growing like weeds in the yard. Here, ain't it, Mama? So I gotta mow, gotta rake a bunch of leaves out first, mow them up. Gutters are plumb full of leaves. Might even plant some flowers. We'll see. Anyway, tomorrow evening we'll get this tore apart. I think it'll still run. My only concern is that valve train, which it cleaned up a lot with the vacuum, and we'll just have to tear it all apart, and wire brush it, polish everything up. I think the whole thing will run. Yep. Anyway, you know what I forgot? Let me measure the bore, and goodness, look at the mess I've got right here. Look at what a mess I've made on the floor. I gotta go get some kitty litter because I'm out. Anyway, let me measure this bore, make sure it's standard. If not, I gotta order some different rings. See y'all tomorrow. Before we get too deep into this video, let me clear some confusion up. I'll give you the short version, and then if you want to fast forward, go ahead. Videos are moving to Saturday, 5 p.m. every 2 weeks. Now let me clear up the confusion part. I've been having a lot of people, well, where's our video this week? I was like, I told you in the last video, the Geo Tracker video, the new schedule. Well, I just got done watching the Geo Tracker video. I never mentioned it. Nope. I remember recording the clip. I remember what I said in it. Just forgot to put it in the video. Well, my little pea brain, it can't handle much, and it gets overloaded. One-man show, the last few weeks have really been overloaded. Anyway, enough of that. Here's the reason why we're going every two weeks. We're probably going to start doing a few more wheel it runs than we used to. Well, let me say this first. I know the channel's been on wheel it runs, extreme wheel it runs. I'm out of those extreme wheel it runs. I don't have any more sitting in the woods, trees going around them, trees growing up through them, swapping the motor in the woods, shooing cows away while I'm trying to get it running. I don't have those anymore. So I tried to switch to builds over the last 2.5 years. People don't want to see me do builds. This is just a brainstorm I come up with. Going to try it. Like I said, we're probably going to do more wheel it runs now. I want to tell the story from beginning to end in one video. Well, y'all know the wheel it runs I do are pure garbage most of the time. Takes a lot more time than, 3 or 4 days. Tinker a little bit and then drive it home. And I usually have to split the videos up over 2 weeks. I don't want to do that. I think it will do better if the problem, let's put it this way. I think it'll do better if the problem is resolved in that video. Meaning get it running and drive it home. And it's going to take, more time to do that. So once every 2 weeks, they're going to be 2+ hours long. You already seen with this one, it's 3.5 hours long. They're not going to be that long normally. So either don't get your hopes up or don't dread it, depending on how you look at it. Now, how will this affect builds? I don't know that it will help on the builds, but in my brain, my theory is if I can get more done in a build 2-hour long video, people will want to watch it instead of just, well, we're going to do the exhaust this week, or, we're going to put the motor in this week, do a whole bunch of stuff in one video. I think people may be more apt to watch. Fingers crossed that it works on the builds. That's yet to be seen. I've got to do something to keep the channel alive, and this is one of those things I'm going to try. If it don't work, we'll do something else, but I don't want to give up right now. I think there's still some life left in the channel. Fingers crossed that this works. But anyway, once again, Saturday, 5 p.m. every 2 weeks. So next Saturday, don't look for a video. It will be the Saturday after that. Once again, I do apologize for the confusion. Let's get back on this video, see if we can get this whole thing to run. Well, I didn't get out here last night and get this tore apart the rest of the way. I was wore out, yes sir, but I did get a bunch of stuff done. My yard at Mama's. Well, I got it all done that I wanted to. So now we can get back on this little fella right here. What we'll do first, pull all the pistons out. Then, well, I got to get the front of the motor off so we can get the crank out. And then once we do that, we need to look at the cylinders. When we get the pistons out, look at the cylinders on the bottom. Make sure ain't nothing major there. Then comes the fun part of cleaning all this garbage up. That's going to take all the rest of the day. Anyways, let's get this thing torn apart. Let's take the Earl pump and the Earl filter off first. Get them out of the way. And there comes some more. Yay! Come on, man. Is your drive shaft rusted into it, or what's going on? I don't want to break it because, I can't go to O'Reilly's and pick one of these up, I don't think. There we go. I'm going to mark each rod with this stamp. Well, I can't even see that, so that's good. Yeah, I barely do. Anyway, that's 8. Here's number 6 right here. Yeah, I can see that pretty good. I got to rotate it to get this one, and I'll do the others. I'll be back and we'll pull this out. All right, I got them all numbered. Also, by the way, I forgot to tell y'all, this is standard bore. It's 3.875, 3 7/8. Same thing as 283, but this is a 304 cubic inch, so a little bit longer stroke, I'm assuming. Now, will this feller come out easily? Well, it looks like it. So far, anyway. Well, the crank's in the way. I got to turn it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it won't turn, so what in the devil, man? Whew. There she is, fellers. Rings. They would have never popped free. No, sir. Yep, they're just squeezed tight as they can be. Let's get the rest of them off, and then we'll look at the cylinders. Bear ink. Not bad. Maybe a little wear. Let me wipe it off. Actually, no, it ain't bad at all. Crank. About like the other. Yep. So I think we're gonna be okay. And I forgot to look and see which way the tang was. I'll do it on the next one. Tell you what, I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached to my body. Surely would. Yep. There she is. All right, tang will go to the inside of the block because this came off of this side. Tang is here. Okay, remember that because I'll forget. Ooh, that wrist pin. Yeah, it don't want to move. Oh, me. What in the world? Yeah, that ain't good, fellas. We'll have to try to work out a loose. Well, look here. This ring here is half unseized, so that's good. But look at the piston. They are pop up. They do pop up out of the block. But look at what a dish there. That's an odd looking piston. Now pay attention this time. Which way do the tangs go? It is tang to tang. Yep. Ooh, this one here don't want to move. Not good. Let me get a brass drift. I got the smallest one that I've got in the box over there. It's moving now. This one here, that's the one that had the water in it. And yeah, it don't want to hardly move. That's probably the one that's got us locked up. As soon as we get this out of here, we'll turn the crank over and see if it freed up any. Well, that won't fit down in there. Let me find something else. Only thing I got is a 1/2 inch broken extension. Let's see if this will make it move or not. It ain't wanting to. No, sir. It sure ain't. Let me move this crank a little bit. Yeah, look here, fellas. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm hitting my rod now, but yeah, that's what had us locked up because it's turning a whole lot freer now. That's what it was. The cylinder I thought it was, that's what it was. Whew. Afraid I'm gonna break it. Yeah, it ain't budging, fellers. The rings are probably catching on crud at the top. Let me sand on that a little bit, see what we can do with it. It's got a decent ring ridge, but let's try it again. There we go. There we go. Did we do any damage to it though? Beating the devil out of it. Don't see none. No, but again, the rings, they're just super glued basically to the piston. And wrist pin feels good. All right, let me put this one up. I beat the devil out of that. We'll polish that up a little bit. It ain't a race motor, fellas. We just want to hear it run for about 10 or 15 minutes. All right, let me get the rest of them out. If I have any more trouble, I'll be back and show you. If not, I'll be back when I get it done. Last one, y'all look here. I can spin her by hand. Ain't nothing wrong with the crank, that's for sure. It's been spinning pretty easy ever since we took number 6 out. Ooh, it's got lots of Earl in it. Well, there's all the pistons out. I need to get the crank out, but I got to get the... oh, wait a minute. This is not a chain. There's a gear. But I got to remove that cover. Yeah, so let's go ahead and pull the front of the motor off. I don't know if my puller's going to pull this off, but let's pull this big bolt out firstly. Or not. Let me put the breaker bar on it and then jam us a piece of wood right here. Oh yeah. Oh, well, Interesting. There it goes. Oh, yeah. Ta-da! I tell you what, there's threaded holes where these bolts are. Let me get my puller, see if we can rig something up. Well, here's the deal. My harmonic dampener puller won't go wide enough for the bolt holes on that dampener, so I'm having to make one. That's no, big feat. But the pusher bolt needs to be fine thread. Most all of them are. I don't have a fine thread bolt or tap. So we're having to make it out of coarse thread. And they have a tendency to lock up when you, put them under a bind like that. Let's just hope, fingers crossed that don't happen. Firstly, I hope this don't break on me while I'm trying to tap it. Anyway, when I get this done, I'll be back and we'll go over and see if this will pull that dampener off, and then we can pull the crank and go to cleaning stuff. My most favorite thing in the world to do. Well, there she is. I even had to make a bolt with longer threads, and this is a puller that I made a few years ago. I made it out of all thread with coarse threads, and it locked up. Y'all probably can't see it, but I just cut it off, and I just re-drilled through the center of that. Hopefully, this is gonna pull that thing off, but if it don't, well, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stick this wood down in here to jam that up. Just like that right there. Oh, she's coming off easy, fellers. I was afraid it would really be stuck on there, considering how everything else looked. Well, there she is. Oh, yeah. All right. Get the main caps off. Get the crank out. Well, I forgot we got to pull this front cover off, so how about we do that first? Fuel pump will come with it. Oh, yeah, there it comes. Oh, yeah. All right. I wasn't expecting that. But it is a gear drive on the cam, so we ain't got to worry about no chain. Let me see if we got any kind of dot to dots before we pull that apart. Yeah, there's a dot and there's a dot. It's almost timed. If I do this here, it's timed. So there you go, fellers. Pretty simple. All right, let us pull this. Now I need to get lifters and then pull the cam, because the cam's a little rusty. I want to clean it up a little bit. I got to get this gasket out of the way of this here bolt head. This sort of reminds me of an FE. The main cap slides down in the block. That might be a pain to get to that bolt, get a impact socket on it, because once again, they didn't leave you enough room. Let's see if it'll fit. Oh yeah. There we go. There's one. That bearing has got a little bit of copper over there, but it ain't bad. Same thing, just a little copper, but they're definitely good enough for what we want to do. Now, this is a thrust bearing here. She's got some copper showing there, but you know what? I don't care. Of course, we done looked at that one. It's got a little copper wear. This one, well, let me fight this little feller, because she's down in there. Oh, yeah. Let's try this right here. See what that does. That don't do nothing. There we go. Look at here, fellers. Oh, yeah. I told y'all my head is good for something besides a hat rack. Sometimes. That is a one-piece rear main seal. And it don't look bad. It took GM till the mid-'80s to start doing this. So I guess International was just ahead of their time. Come on now, little feller. It ain't very heavy either. Oh, yeah. I need to get these bearings out. Keep them in order if I can. but I ain't too awful worried about it. Let me get the starter off. We'll flip her over, and I would like to get that distributor out, but I don't know if it's going to come out. Let me hit it with some Kroll oil where it is right there. That bottom part there looks pretty rough. We'll let that soak for a little bit whilst I get the starter off, and then flip it over, pull lifters, cam. Cam gear's got to come off because I see Phillips head screws behind it, so that means there's a retainer plate back there. Come on, man. There she goes. Let's flip her over and get the lifters out. These are really, really rusty. These lifters sure are. Wonder if they're stuck. Yeah. Get this cam retainer plate off, hopefully. Well, I just broke that tip, and that's the last one I got, so what in the world? These things are junk, man. Well, let me work on this, see what we're going to do here, because, yep, I don't know what we'll do. Well, I ain't opposed to welding on these either, but let me see if I can get them broke free first. There's a lot of rust around them, though. Sure is. Let me get some heat on it, see what it does. Yep, just moved. Awesome, let me get a Phillips. Felipe, where are you at, sir? I done boogered this up pretty bad, so I'll go tomorrow and get us 2 more of these at the bolt store. Let me work on this second one. When I get it loosened up, I'll be back. Well, the bottom one is moving when I move the retainer plate back and forth, but it won't break free, so we're gonna do a little weldy weld on it, see what it does. Will it or won't it? No, sir. Let me fix this where I look like I welded it, and then I'll get a smaller bolt. Try it again. Come on, man. Oh, look here, fellas. We got her whooped now. Are the lifters raised up enough off the lobes where this will come out, or am I going to have to try to get them out firstly? We're fixing to find out. Well, it ain't wanting to move. You know what? I wonder if that distributor's got to come off first, you know, because the gear, there's a good possibility. Let me give it one more try. Yeah, it ain't coming out. So let me see if we can get this out. Then I guess we'll try to pull the lifters out too. I did not plan on it taking this long today to get all of this loose. No, sir. I don't know if it's stuck down here somewhere or up here. We're gonna heat everything. Nothing. She ain't budging. I'm afraid to get real rough with it. Oh, you know, you just can't go out and buy one of these, I'd say. Let me work on it a little while. Hopefully it'll break free and we can get it the rest of the way out. Well, I've tried to get that distributor out for the last hour. It ain't budging. So what I'm doing now is knocking these lifters out of the way. You know, make sure they're out of the way, and then try to pull the cam that away. If it don't come out then, well, then we know the distributor is what's holding it in. All right, all lifters are out of the way. The thing ought to come out. It feels really notchy. Well, let me just show you. So the bearings are probably not in the best of shape. Wait a minute, look here. It just spun out of the block. Oh yeah, I guess that's what was holding it, was the lifters. Let me get y'all out of the way and get that thing out of there. Come on out, little buddy. Oh yeah. I guess the notchy was the, well, it ain't gonna come by there. Nope, that cam bearing ain't gonna come by the distributor, so it's got to come out one way or the other. That ain't no good there, fellas. Wait a minute. It acts like it's something else, not that. Now that I've shed a little light on the subject, you can see that cam journal right there in the middle of your screen hitting the gear on the distributor. Yep, so the distributor's got to come out, fellas. I don't know how, but it's got to. Let me work on that, and maybe I can get that out by the morning time. When I do, I'll be back. This is going to be the battle of the century, getting this distributor out. I've heated and beat on it. Well, I was whooping on it, and all of a sudden the cap exploded. I didn't hit it, it just exploded. A couple of whacks later, the rotor exploded. You can get them, I can order them at O'Reilly's, I ain't worried about that. I looked up a distributor. You can get distributors for HEI distributor for this motor, but it's $250 and it ain't worth that, no. So what I'm doing, I got this level, let the coil oil sit there and soak. Maybe eventually it'll break free, but for now what we're gonna do is start cleaning this stuff up. But, dummy me, completely forgot that I got a 55-gallon drum half full of purple power over there. If I would have remembered that, I'd have had some of this over in there soaking overnight. Well, I ain't never been accused of being real smart or having a good memory. So here's what we're gonna do. I got 3 cans of oven cleaner. I got my old tub here that we used to soak the blocks in. Well, we're gonna soak all this stuff in, what is this called? Oven cleaner. We're gonna scrub a dub best we can. We're gonna let her ride, yep. Like I said, if it runs 15, 20 minutes, that's all I'm worried about, yeah. Oh man, it's taking my breath. Goodness. Anyway, let me spray this, let it soak. I got to do a lot of scrub-a-dub-dubbing. I'll be back in a little while. Cleaning up the push rods right now. And no, I'm not trying to make them shiny, but there's lots of loose rust on them. I like to get all that off. You know, so we don't plug up our oiling system. Now, you know, I'm not trying to blow the motor up, but I know that it's, you know, it's in pretty bad shape. But we're going to give her the best chance that backyard butchery money can buy. Yep. Let's do a little rinsing. Whew, man, that water is cold. Goodness gracious alive. Let me find a place to put these. Let me keep on rinsing and cleaning. That there's about as good as it's gonna get. It's just rusty. Yep. Anyway, let me keep on cleaning. I'll be back sometime or another, give you a progress update. Well, I've been scrubbing on this set of rocker arms for about, I don't know, 64 years. They look mucho better than when we started for sure, but they're still, you know, pretty sticky. So, sometime tonight, I gotta pull them all apart and, well, I don't know. Now, that there's pretty good. That there's, yeah, it won't hardly move. Yep, so they're gonna have to come apart and, ooh, that never won't move either. Oh, yep, gotta come apart. Never mind what I said. Well, I decided to give my hands a break because they were absolutely freezing. And this one here, I guess from the wire brush hitting it, death by 1,000 cuts, basically. It is really hurting. Anyway, I figured I'd come over here and whoop on this for a minute, and guess what? You're about to witness a miracle. Yep, the old coil of oil has done it once again. She's moving slowly but surely. And if I don't break the distributor, she's about to come out here, I do believe. I don't want it to fall and bust. Let me get something to lay down here where it won't bust itself when it falls. I got a bunch of this foam here. I think it came with all the radiators we've gotten from alloyworksplus.com. Anyway, let's whoop on this thing. Get it out of here. Come on, man. Don't break on me. She's still moving. Like a hair. Like a hair. Would you look at this right here? There we go, fellas. She come out. That is a load off of my mind. Yep, it sure is. Now that we got that out, sometime tonight before I call it quits and go in the house, we'll flip this thing over, look at the cylinders, especially number 6. Because remember, when we removed it, everything started turning freely. Right now, though, let me get some, what are they called, vice grips to get this cam out. Where, oh where, art my vicing grips? I found him, I found him. Now, will this little feller come on out of there? It's tight. Them bearings are rusty, I believe, or crudded up or something, because it was turning pretty bad. The cam journals don't look bad, I don't think. Well, that there, no? Yeah. They're a little gooped up. We'll have to clean this up too. It's got rust on it right in there. Yep. We'll shine her up. Cam is scrubbed. Let me rinse it off. I'll blow it off with air, and then probably not tonight, but sometime before we put it back together, I'm gonna hit everything with a little bit of memory cloth. Let's just see what it feels like. I can feel a little bit of rust. Yeah, we'll probably, yeah, that nerve's kind of rough. Like I said, fellas, if it runs 15 minutes, I'll be happy. But we will, oh, now come back. We will polish her up a little bit. The old Crank-A-Lanka, getting her a bath now. It's mostly just rusty. So I'm just trying to knock all this loose rust off. I ain't sure if we need to polish these or not. I'll look at them and see. If I don't feel anything, I ain't gonna worry about it. No, sir, sure ain't. Well, I'm taking a break from cleaning. As you can see, I still got a whole lot more to clean. Main thing is worried about crank heads, pistons. The rest of it don't really matter. They're external parts. Of course, block too. I got to get all my lifters out. I'm going to try to keep them in order, but I don't think it really matters on this motor. But I was just looking at cylinder 6, and I don't really see anything that was holding it up. It's got, you know, crud at the bottom on these two sides where there ain't a skirt, but they're all like that. So I don't understand it. You know, when we pulled this out, it started turning over a lot freer. Where's the piston? Do we look at it? It's this one right here. I don't see anything outstanding. Nope. So I don't understand that. But let me clean a couple of these cylinders up, run a hone in them and see what they look like. I'm pretty sure they're going to be okay, but let's just check, see. I mean, it don't feel bad. Yep. Of course, you know, it's got rust in it because it sat for 20 plus years. Let me show you what it looks like now, cleaned up. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but well, you can see that rust at the bottom. That's where the skirt, you know, there ain't a skirt on the piston. Same thing over here. Don't look bad. Nope. Let's hone it. See what it does. Give her a little bit of the WDs for some lubrications. We're trying to clean it up right now. We ain't worried about crosshatch. It's took just about all the rust away, but it is pitted quite a bit. Don't matter, fellas, because all we want to do is run it just a little bit. Let's see if we can get some crosshatch in it now. Slow, spinny, fast up and down. Actually, let me put that in low gear, see what that does. Oh yeah, we got some crosshatch going on now. Sure do. Yep. Let me do another one. Let's do this in here because she looks pretty rough on the bottom too. It's hard to get crosshatch to show up on camera. Maybe you can see it though. Most time it comes across as just straight lines, but yeah, you can see it right there some. Yep. Then there got crosshatch too. Oh yeah. I believe it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna hone out good. Just as long as we can get everything else cleaned up. Man, this has been a job so far and we ain't even halfway there, fellas. Nope. I ain't even got everything cleaned up, much less start to put it back together. But that's gonna have to wait till tomorrow because I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I'm fixing to go in the house, give me something to eat. Gotta do a little editing tomorrow. Like I said, I gotta work on the Duty Brown Dually. And then we'll get back on this. I would like to at least have everything cleaned up and ready to go back together Saturday, you know, after I get back from Missouri Friday. I think what I'm gonna do though is put the heads, pistons, oil pan probably, and the intake in my barrel of purple power, let that soak overnight, and then tomorrow night hopefully we just hit it with a brush real quickly and that'll be that. That's the plan. Pistons though, cleaning the ring grooves, it's gonna take a while. But anyways, I'll get it done. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Well, I didn't go in the house. Nope. I put the heads, intake, all the pistons in the purple power. Then I got to scrape it on the deck surface. And then I thought, well, let's go ahead and knock the lifters out. And those fellas are pretty gummed up. Yep, pretty nasty. Let me show you this right here. Just like everything else, I had to clean it up. That is a little bit of rust, yep, so I want to polish it. Oh, yeah. All the lifters are out and, yeah, pretty bad. My main concern here is, you know, you can polish the outside, but is it stuck on the inside? Probably. If I got to take each one of them apart and clean it out, fellas, it'll never run. No, it'll take another week. Anyways, I'm going in the house for real now. See y'all later. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Oh yeah, fellas. We got lots and lots of International 304 parts that are, well, I ain't gonna call them clean, but they're better than they were. Yep. I've spent the last 3 or 4 hours cleaning up all this and still ain't nowhere near done. But, well, today I've spent several hours wiring up trailer stuff for the old Duty Brown Dually. I got a trailer plug wired up. I got trailer brake controller wired up. I got power run from the battery all the way back to the back of the truck for the winch. I was actually supposed to go today to get that car. Well, it took a lot longer to do all that than I thought. So that's been pushed back to Sunday. So I figured I'd come out here and let's clean up on this. What I'm doing right now though is we got to work on these rocker arms. They are, they're pretty bad. Wait a minute, before I do that, let me show you. Let me get a screwdriver out of here and show y'all. Well, I had one a minute ago. Where did it go? We use this one right here. I don't know where the other one went, but y'all look at here. You probably can't see it, but look here. See that little feller moving down in there? That one there, and that one there, that one there. Oh yeah, they ain't stuck. I am so proud of that. It would have took hours to take all these apart and clean it. Yep, I don't have to do that. We got to clean them up, but I ain't got to take it apart. And the bottom, I don't know if I get one out or not. The bottoms, well, they won't come out. The bottom is real rusty, so we got to, there's my other screwdriver. Anyway, we got to hit them with some kind of emery cloth, sandpaper, whatever it takes to get that rust off. But right now, let's see if we can get this apart. Well, I ain't real sure how to go about this. I'm gonna lightly clamp this in here, hope it don't break, and this is gonna be the deciding factor on whether this thing runs or not. It won't move. Well, that rocker arm moves. That one does not. Let's just try to move it. If we can't, no, it won't move either. I don't know what I'm gonna do here, fellers. It needs to soak in a tub of crude oil for about a week, probably. but I don't have that. Let's just see if I can get this clamped in the vise. Oh, my finger. I've got so many cuts from last night scrubbing with that wire brush, just jabbing my finger. Oh, man, it hurts so bad. Anyway, let me get this little feller clamped up some kind of way. Let's try it right there. Let me get me some chanty locks. I'm going to try not to break anything here, but I can't make any promises. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do here, fellas. It won't. I don't want to beat on it with a hammer. Let's use this dead blow, see what it does. It's moving, but goodness gracious alive, man. Huh. What in the world? I tell you what I'm going to have to do, I guess, is soak this little feller with the Croil of oil. There's something wrong with this top. Anyway, let me soak this Croil oil overnight, and maybe it'll do its magic and these will break free tomorrow, because none of them are moving except for this one right here. What about these ones? No, 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 and no. All right. 1 out of 16 ain't too bad. Anyway, let me soak this, and see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully these will break free. Well, I lied to you. I didn't go in the house. Nope. I figured let's fool with these pistons just a little bit. I got 3 that are pretty nasty. That's probably the ones, you know, that were the problem child. I bet one of them's going to be number 6. Is that what that one is? I think so. It's real crudded up over here. That's probably what had us, you know, where we couldn't rotate it freely. Anyway, if I can find the end of this ring, I think it's right here, then we're going to get these rings off here. And clean the ring grooves. Well, fellers, that ring is stuck. I might have a hammer. She ain't budging yet. Goodness gracious alive. Is the second one freed up? Nope. Well, yeah, sort of. It broke. At least it's moving, though. Anyway, you see what I got to do here. I hope not to all of them, but it's possible. Yep. Once I get these out, then I got to take one of the old rings, like this right here, and go in the groove and clean all that crud out. That's going to take a while. Yep. So, let me do a few of these tonight. I shall see y'all tomorrow. Well, I'm back again, and finally got that ring out, but we can see the crud here. I'm going to have to sand that. And marked it up with the screwdriver. So I got to file that down. I finally got the rings out, but it is so crudded up, I can't really get a ring down in there. So what I'm going to attempt to do is take one of these little bitty files, go in here and clean this little feller up. If I can get the new ring to fit down in there and have, you know, a little bit of wiggle room, that's all I'm worried about. Anyways, I hope this is the only one that's that bad. It seemed like there was one more that was pretty cruddy, but maybe not. I hope not. Anyways, I'm going away for real this time. I'm gonna clean a few of these and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm working on the last piston, cleaning everything up, putting rings on. This is numeral 60 cylinder, the problem child. Remember, we had to beat the devil out of it to get it out of the block. And I boogered this up right here, trying to smooth it out. And I don't know where the bearing is. If it's not over there on the table, well, we're done. Yeah. I can also tell you this. If I ever come across another motor that Won't turn over freely. I'm walking away from it. This has been a tremendous amount of work. It really has. Let me blow this off. I'll be right back. Yes, sir. This has been a tremendous amount of work, just time consuming. Cleaning. Well, you know, it took forever just to get this stupid thing apart. Yep. I ain't doing this again. I don't think so. Anyways, let me get the rings on. Then we'll move to something else. Might clean the lifters up real quick, and then we gotta see about the rocker arm assembly. That's the deciding factor, whether this thing ever runs again or not. Well, what's going on here? I don't think I got that clean enough. Well, I gotta take this back apart, it looks like. Clean that a little more. When I get done with this, I'll be back and I don't know, we'll work on something else. Well, I had to go get my ring groove cleaner. I forgot all about it. Forgot I had it. It was over at Mama's in the basement hanging up. This piston here is pretty doggone bad. Yep. That's why I went and got it, because just using an old ring, 'twas not working. You can see the white stuff just falling out of it. I'm assuming it's just corrosion from the aluminum. Anyway, let me get this cleaned up and then maybe we can get these rings on here. I did clean up that oil groove a little more. So let's just see if this little fella will go in there now or not. It's still catching over here on this side. I don't know, fellers. Let me work on a little bit more. I'll be back after a while. Well, I had to go back and look at the old video of pulling number 6 out, trying to figure out where the bearing is. I set it right here to stay there forever, and then it fell. I picked it up, put it on the chair. That chair there was sitting here. Then I put it back in the rod, put the cap on, laid it on the floor. Well, it ain't here in the floor where they were laying. The only other place it can be, right here in this barrel. Yep. I'm gonna take my magnet. If I can't find it, well, then this is the end of the video. Yep, sure is. Where art thou, little Mr. Bearing? We ain't on the end of this magnet yet. Don't know what I'm gonna do, fellas. Let me do a little more fishing, see what I can come up with. Here's what's left of my magnet I was using a minute ago. It's down in there. When I got the big magnet, it's not pulling anything up. So the only other place it might be is right out here where I was cleaning them up last night. If it's not on the ground here somewhere, then like I said, we're done. I'm not seeing it, fellers. Nope, sure ain't. I found it. Laying right there under where the rod was. Never thought to look there. Well, I guess it fell out when I took the cap off. I'm done with the pistons after I get this cleaned up. Where are the, what do you call them? Lifters. Let me clean on them next. Lifter numero uno here, working on it. You can see lots and lots of rust on the surface that's going to be touching the cam. And then the lifter bore too. She's rusted all the way around there. Let's get us some sanding paper of some kind. Go to cleaning on it. 220 grit that's been wore down. What did I use this for? I don't remember, but it's been used, so it ain't quite 220. Let's just see what we can get done here. Yeah, I think it's going to clean up pretty easily, actually. Sand on the top of this little feller, because it's still got quite a bit of rust on it. It is coming off, though. This is why it doesn't matter if I put them back where they came from, because it's just, I'm sanding on it, it's rusted, and yeah, it don't matter, fellas. Not on this one. Well, it's going to have to do, because I can't get any more of it to come off. Tell you what, let's take it over and put it in a lifter bore and see if it slides in easily, or do we have to beat it in? Will it or won't it? Oh, yeah, look at there, fellas. Just like a brand new one. Even when them bores dirty. Yep. That'll be just fine and dandy. I've only got 16 more to go. I'll be back when I get them done. Last leaf store that we have to clean. You gotta go this way, and then you gotta go that way. Get all the rust off. You gotta get the rust off the top of it. Then there's a bunch of garbagery down in here that you gotta blast out. Then you put that right there and watch it shoot out here. Make sure it ain't stopped up. Now there's a plunger inside of here. It's held up with a spring. It's got some other stuff in there. Well, 2 or 3 of them act like that spring is broke and the plunger's just dropping down. I've been checking them with this drill bit, making sure they're not stuck. None of them are stuck, but 2 or 3 of them, that plunger just drops like the spring is broke or something. It's gonna have to do because that's all we got. Yep. Anyway, what I'm doing next, let's get the rocker arms over here. Well, they've been soaking in olive oil for quite a few hours since, last night. Look at here, that there's moving. I was gonna say I don't really know how to go about this, but well, I think I just figured it out. Yep. See if we can get her loosened up good enough to turn with her hand. They don't have to move a whole lot, probably maybe like that, but my main concern is once we get them broke free, is oil going to be able to get to them? Because it's like an FE Ford. It comes up through one of these pedestals, mounts, and it goes out. But anyway, that's promising. We got one loose. What about this one here? It's moving. I got to be careful, though, not break these aluminum pedestals. It ain't breaking free as easily. Neither is that one. It may be jammed up on that. This one here, it's moving a little bit. Yep. That one there's moving. Well, getting them just to move is half the battle. Ooh, that there's pretty rough feeling. Yep. Let me whoop on these. I might get some big chanty locks. Matter of fact, let's do that right now. Get my big chanty locks. That'll be a little less jarring on them at least, maybe. Put them right there. Well, that there's done loosened up quite a bit. Awesome. This one here, though, well, it's not bad, but it just stopped right there. I don't know if they're designed to turn all, well, no, it's hitting the pedestal. Okay, so it's not going to turn all the way. Let's go back this way then. It's hitting the something. Oh, there it goes. Anyway, I got 16 of these fellers to get broke free. That maybe, that may end the night up. I don't know. I was hoping to start putting this together, but we still got to hone the block and clean it up. So, yeah. I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to Missouri and pick that car up. Feller's done changed the time he wants me to come. So, yeah, I got to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, let me work on this. If I get them all free and looking good, I'll be back tonight. If not, well, I'll see y'all Monday probably. Well, I got all of them broke free and only about 2 of them I can turn by hand. The rest of them are still pretty tight. And they'll turn. I'm just seeing what heat will do, if it'll loosen it up anymore or not. This may be as good as it gets, fellas, because they were pretty doggone stuck. Let me heat this up. I'll be back and we'll crank on it with the chanty locks. See if it helped it any. Not really. Well, I mean, it might have helped it some, but not a lot. But it is moving, and all it's got to do is about like that right there, probably. So, we may leave them and just say that's good enough. I'm going to spray them down again, let them soak, because it'll be a couple of days, before we're ready for them. Anyway, let me get the other one and go to working on it. Well, here's the other one. Remember that and there was turning last night. This one here just freed up decently. I can turn it by hand. Let's go through the rest of them, see what we can get done. Yep, that there broke free. What about this one? Yep. Ooh, it's pretty stiff though. Oh yeah, it's real stiff. Ooh, goodness gracious. This one here. Yep. What I would really like to do is take them all apart. But I tried turning a couple of these aluminum pedestals and, oh crap, it's about to fall out of the vise. They are really, really tight on the shaft and afraid I'm gonna bust that aluminum. And if I do that, then we are dead in the water. So this right here is gonna have to do. But this one, oh my goodness, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Well, they broke free. Let me work on them a little while. Maybe they'll break free even better. Also, let me show you something real quickly. On the first one we was working on, right here that busted, it was already split. I don't know where the piece went. It was already split and then it finally broke off. I hope that doesn't affect the oiling, but it very well might. See how it's got hole here, hole here, hole here? That's for lubrication. Anyway, let me keep on working with them. I've done all the damage I can do to these. They're all free, but you know, I use that term loosely. I got them stood up here with Corolla oil sprayed everywhere, hoping that Corolla oil by gravity work its way down, loosen them up even more. Got the other one over there. All the pistons are ready to go. Let's see if we can't hone this block out real quick like. I got all the cylinders clean except for these two right here. Trying to get all that old nastiness out before I run the hone in there. When the hone will take off some of that crusty stuff. We're fixing to find out. Let me get the drill, the hone. Shoot some WD down in there. Just like that. All I'm trying to do right now is clean it up, get the rust and the crud out. We'll worry about crosshatch in a minute. Yeah, she's pretty pitted up here. Can't do nothing about that unless we bore it. It did get all of the crustation gone. Let me hit that just a little bit more, and then we'll work on some crosshatch. All right, put her in low gear. Oh yeah, that's some pretty crosshatch there. Yep. Better than nothing. All right, let me get these other three. I got two over there to do. And then I'm probably gonna call it a night. I'll be back in a little bit. Block is honed. Oh yeah, let's take a look at it and see what she looks like in here. Hopefully y'all can see the crosshatch. But I don't know if you can or not. Look at the other side. Over here. There ain't a whole lot of rust left, but the worst one is, what would this be, 7? It's the worst one right in there. You can see that or not right at the top. It'd be all right though, I can barely feel it. Well, I think I'm gonna scrub a dub on this block, like in the lifter valley, because it's a lot of rust and stuff. When I get done with that, it's time for me to go to bed, because like I said, I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go get that other car. I still gotta do some little odd and end stuff to Duty Brown Dooley before we take off in the morning. Try to get that done here in a little bit. What I'm trying to tell you is we're gonna call it a day, yep, and I will probably see y'all when we're putting this thing together, which will be Monday. See y'all then. Today is the day, fellas, that we put this little back together. Yep, I've been scrubbing on it. I'm gonna hit it with some oven cleaner, let it soak, scrub it some more, roll it outside and spray it down. Speaking of outside, it is quite chilly today. Oh yeah, we've been in the 70s for a week or two, and then wake up this morning to 34 degrees and wind blowing 274 miles an hour. It's cold, yeah. Well, I can handle the cold temperature. I work in 0 degree weather just fine. Long as the wind ain't blowing. You let the wind get up, I'm done. So that's tomorrow is supposed to be the same. So that's going to hinder us because I don't know that I'm going to work in that kind of weather. Nope. So this may get pushed back a day, get it in there Wednesday, fire it up, and then the video will have to come out Thursday, but it'll be just fine. Oh yeah. Anyway, let me turn you back around and show you some stuff real quick. Like I said, I've been scrubbing on it, and matter of fact, let's get some oven cleaner out here right now. Where is it at? I thought I put it back in here. Well, no, it's on the table over here. Well, let me get it. But we've got a freeze plug that I think that's about empty. We got a freeze plug right here. It's got a ginormous hole in it. I got to change that out. The rest of them look okay. What I might do once I get it clean is just smear some RT&V around them, and then we will run it with the radiator cap off. That way it don't build pressure and we don't have a major leak. But that and will definitely have to be changed. Anyway, let me spray this down. Actually, let's go over here and check something real quick. Left these soaking for a couple of days in the coil of oil. Are they any better? That one there I think was already free. Most of them I could not turn by hand. Turn that one. Ooh, that there's still pretty stiff. That one there's wonderful. Ooh, that there's pretty stiff. Well, I think they have locked back up. What in the world, man? Let me check this one over here real quick. I hope it's a little better, because that wasn't worth crap there. That one there's moving. Oh yeah, look at here. This one here I think is gonna be okay. Ooh, that there's a little, no, it freed up. What about that one? Yeah, I think that one's good. You're gonna have to work on that a little bit more, but for now, let me get this block cleaned up, and when I get back, we'll start putting it together. Trying to clean the cooling passages out, and well, it looks like my motor's bleeding. It's so nasty and rusty. Yeah, I've never seen a motor this rusty, inside and out. It's been ridiculous. Block is sitting right over yonder, as clean as it's going to get. Just got done soaking it with WD so it don't rust. Well then, I saw a squirrel. I call it getting squirrel tracked. I come over here fooling with this rocker arm assembly, and as you can see, I got about half of it off. It's coming off pretty easily. You can see how nasty it is. So we're gonna clean this up. Not right now, but I do want to get it apart, this one here. Then we'll get back on the motor, start putting it together. But yeah, I think it'll clean up good enough. I just didn't like the thought of them not, you know, moving. That ain't good. Anyway, let me get this tore apart, and then we'll start putting the motor together. I promise we're gonna put the motor together today. Will the rocker arm move, or am I gonna have to heat it? It's moving. It's pretty crudded up right there where that piece of aluminum was. So I think once I get it past that, it should come on off. I should have cleaned that up first. I guess I'm cleaning it up now. Yeah, see, it got a lot easier. Let's try the next one. The aluminum pieces, I'm heating them up because I don't want to beat on them real hard because I'm liable to break them. If I heat them up, you know, aluminum expands quicker than steel and a lot more probably. So you hit it with heat, get her to expand and break free, and then it usually comes on off. Will it break free? Oh yeah, look at there. Sorta. The whole shaft's turning on me. Oh yeah. Clean that up a little bit. Now, did that help us any? Oh yeah. All right, let me get the rest of this tore apart. Well, I'm doing some last minute cleaning on the crank, and I tell you what, this motor didn't have many miles. No, so there's nothing. I can't feel any kind of ridge there. Usually there'll be a little one in between the two rods. Nothing. There's some rust right there that I've been working on, and I think I pretty much got it. You still see it, but I can't really feel it. It was pretty bad. I think that's about it on it. The cam, I'm gonna hit each lobe because like right here, and then right in there and there's rust. So let me clean this up, And I think we'll put the cam in first, then we'll put the crank in. When I get these lifter bores somewhat clean, I'm done. I'm not cleaning anything else. I feel like I have been cleaning for a week solid. Yep. Matter of fact, if I ever come across another motor like this, I'm walking away. Yep. This has been a tremendous amount of work. Just the cleaning and, you know, getting it tore apart. Goodness gracious. Yep. I ain't doing this again. That's a lie, because I probably will. I don't normally put the cam in first, but I got thinking it's easier if you got the crank out, you can help guide it. So let us do that, but let us lube it up firstly. All right, here we go. I don't like this way because you can't grab hold of it real good. So yeah, I don't think I'll do this again. Cam is in. Reckon it's time to put some main bearings in now. I am putting them back where they came from because I kept them in order. Oh yeah. Thrust bearing is in the center. Gonna have a little bit of lubrications. The main thing worries me about this motor, which it don't really matter because it is, you know, sort of a pile of junk at this point. There's still a lot of rust, like in the lifter valley area and in the tops of the heads. And if that stuff, you know, works its way loose and the oil pump sucks it up, that screen ain't fine enough and it's liable to get jammed up in the oil pump and lock it up. These, you know how this cap slides down in between here? Well, you got to have these little fellers. I'm not exactly sure. It's got that little thing on top. Does it line up at the top? Because the old ones didn't have that, did they? Let me look at them. Yeah, there's a remnant of one. I guess you just stick them down in there like that best you can. That's about all you can do. Yep. Now, you know, it is one piece rear main seal. And that's not going to work. No. Because when you go to put your cap on, it's going to hit that end. That's not how they go. Well, here's the deal on these. These are the new ones, right? Yeah. You put them in after you put the cap on. Tighten it down. Then you shove them down in there. Yep, that's how you do it. Now, on the rear main seal, you know, it's one piece. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and have it on the crank, set it down in there, and then put the cap on top of that. We're going to try that anyway. If it don't work, well, we'll do something different, but let's get that crank in there. Hopefully that seal will stay in place while we drop this little fella down in there. Oh, my finger. I'd like to chop my finger off. That seemed to work pretty good. Let me get the caps on, and then we got to get these little pieces here on. Where are my caps? They're over here on the floor. If I recall correctly, you know, they're all numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The number was over yonder on that side. That's the way we're going to put them together anyway. Yep. Just like that right there. Numeral 20. Now can we get this feller to go over that seal? Well, it fell right in. Let me knock it down. Oh, what y'all think about that? All right, I'll put these here bolts in. I don't know if these rubber pieces need to go in now or after you tighten it. Let's put them in now. Put a little lubrication on it. And I'm going to use this transfer punch, but I'm not using the punch end. I'm using the other end. I'm going to try to get that little fella to go down in there. Oh, it just went right in. Well, that wasn't nothing to that, fellas. No, let me get that other one in. Then we'll torque these capolaps down. 3 rounds. We're gonna make 3 rounds. I think this is 55. Then I'll go to like 65 or 70. And we're gonna end up around 80-ish. 80 feetage pounds. Right here. Now, they look pretty good. What is next? I guess when you start putting the pistons in. I gotta lube the cylinders up before I put pistons in. But I want to show y'all something that I didn't know existed until 2 days ago. Drive MXD SAE 15W30 diesel motor oil. Guess where I got that from? The dollar store. I did not know that they had diesel oil. Nope, sure didn't. We might start using it some. I'll do some reading on it. You know, make sure it's just not absolute garbage. But I think it's $15 a gallon. That's not bad. If I recall correctly, tang to the inside, dish to the outside. So I believe she's gonna go in just like that right there. Wait a minute, this is the wrong. No, this is right. Front of the motor. This is numero uno. Yep. I don't remember who sent me this ring squeezer set. I really like it. Like it a lot. There we go. I think. Oh yeah, we're down in there. Number 1 is installed. Let me get the cap. Tang to the inside. Yep. Just like it right there. We'll tighten all them up at once, or torque them all at once. I'm just making sure you got a chamfer on the side of the rod. I'm making sure that's right. It looks like it's right. Let's get numero 20 in. Bearing just fell out. Well, that ain't good. I don't think I have ever had that happen. Nope. Let me drive it on in a little bit. Make sure I ain't gonna hit nothing. I don't know if I can get that in there or not. Maybe. Oh yeah, went right in. Now, pick it on down on the crank. Get our capalapa on, make sure our tangs are with each other. And the chamfer, that bearing come out too. What in the devil's going on with them bearings? Anyway, I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Big old chamfer there. Well, there might be a little bitty one there, but the big one goes to the crank side, not to the other rod. All right, there's 2. I got 6 more to go. When I get to the last one, I shall return. Last one right here, and I'm pretty sure every bearing, except for one, fell out. I don't know why. They just don't want to stay in for whatever reason, and that ain't going in right. Let's see what we got going on. I think my ring clamp is trying to go down in the bore with the piston. And I have to, yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. Trying to hold the bearing in, keep it from falling. All right, let's get the cap on that one. Make sure we got tang to tang, chamfer to the crank side. These will get 50 feetage pounds. Last pair of rods right here. When I get this done, I think, well, I'm gonna take a break first, rest my knees a little bit. I think we'll put the front cover on. Well, we gotta put the timing gear and all that on, get it timed. Put front cover on, then Earl pan will be done with the bottom end. We'll flip her over and go to work on the top end. We gotta get these gears in time. And my zero is down here. I gotta get her on the top. I'm gonna use some orange Loctite on these cam retainer bolts. All of the feedage pounds. That's probably good enough right there. Now let's get this feller, line it up. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Where is the eccentric for the fuel pump? Here it is. I'm gonna put some Loctite on this bolt here too. What's next? Cover. Let me get this area wiped down, get the Earl off of it. This is a lot like a Ford. The cover, you can take it off without dropping the oil pan. Fuel pump runs off an eccentric here. It oils the rocker arms the same way. That's what's wrong with it. It's a dang Ford. This does not line up with any dowel pins that I see, so I'll get the hub here in a minute. I won't tighten these bolts up. We'll get the hub on, get her centered up. Let's get this here feller on. There it is. Before we flip it over, let's see if this little feller's gonna slip down in there, or we're gonna have to do a little work. It goes in, yep, that'll be all right. Well, I just realized that my little microphone thing here cut off. Normally, like right in this area here, I got two, a left and a right, shows the volume of each channel. I normally look at that before I start recording. Well, I haven't for the last 30 minutes, so I think the last thing you heard me say was we were test fitting the distributor, see if it would fit. Yep. Well, since then, I have put the oil pump on, we put the oil pan on, and I realized that the oil pan had a hole. So I brought it over here to weld it up. That's where we're at. This little fella here cuts off on me again. I'm gonna throw it away. Anyway, let's roll it back over here, flip it back up, and I guess we'll go to putting lifters and push rods and all that in. I think before we start putting lifters and all that in, let's go ahead and get the heads on. I put my jack under the oil pan because it's heavy and it's pretty rough on this engine stand. It's already bent these fellers here. So we'll hold it up with that. Maybe that'll do it. Let's get the heads on. This had steel shim head gaskets on it. These are the good Fel-Pro. They're a little thicker, which, you know, will hurt horsepower some, but we ain't too awful worried about that. No, sir. We just want it to run. All right, can I get this on there without mashing my fingers? I hope so. I gotta get him in them dowel holes some kind of way. Come on now, buddy, where you at? Well, I can't find it. It's too dad blame heavy to let go. Let's see now. Well, where is that feller at? Right there's one. I don't think that's it. Nope. Right there. Whew. That was a job, fellers. Goodness. I think I'm hot. I gotta take this off. There's lots and lots of rust all in this head. I'll show you here in a minute. That's my main concern. Is that rust going to start flaking off? Get an Earl pump and stop it up. Or, you know, it could get in between the bearing and the rod or main or something like that. Anyways, it is what it is. 90 to 100 feedage pounds. I'm going to do 95. I'm not going to go all at once, you know. Do it in steps. And I found a sequence, but I don't think it matters, fellas. Let's just go work from the inside out. Be good enough. All right, let me run through them again. I'll put the oven on. I'll see you when I get back. Heads are on. They are rusty. Very. That's pretty bad. Yep, down in there. The springs, if they don't break, it'll be a miracle. Yep. Pretty bad over here. Actually, this side may be worse. A bunch of rust down in there. If you wanted to take literally a couple of days to clean those up, you could, but I ain't got that kind of time, fellas. No, so we got to get this thing done. What we're going to do right now, let's put the lifters in. And we may go ahead and put our push rods in. We'll put our valley cover on. Then we got to get over here and finish up our rocker arm assembly. Yes, I am putting these in the same spot they came out of, even though it don't matter because the cam and lifters both are, oh, wait a minute, it goes over here, are in pretty bad shape. Yep. Last one. All right, let's put some push rods in and then put the valley cover on. All right. Also, we have a hole rusted through right here. I'll show you how we're going to fix that in just a moment. Let's get this little feller in place first. After I cleaned the heads up outside, spraying them off with water, I brought them in and blew them out with air. Blowing air in each intake runner. Not nary a valve is sealing, intake or exhaust. You can see the bubbles coming up around the valve seat. All right, there's that. Let me show you how we're gonna fix that hole. Good old R10V if I can get enough out. Oh yeah, like it was never there. Well, you can see I got everything off of the shaft and it's pretty nasty. The only thing I know to do is go to polishing, get all this old crud off of it. Now when it go on, it's still hanging a little bit right there, but that ain't bad. I think it'll work. Let me clean the other end up real quick and then I'll see what I got to clean these up. Y'all look here what I found. Wiry brush that'll fit in here. Oh yeah. Let's see how it slips on the shaft. Do it fit? Well, these are probably gonna be tight anyway because they don't supposed to spin. Yeah. If we have to, we'll heat them up before we put them on, but it's clean. So let's do a rocker arm next. Hopefully I can keep these in order. I shall return. Well, I got everything cleaned up and I think we're about ready to put this little feller back together. Starting in the middle, we're gonna go about right here and work our way out. We'll flip it around and do the other way. Something I have discovered though, these little stands are different from each other. Some of them, there's 3 that are different. There's some that have the hole, oiling hole, some don't. And they're also shaped different. Well, the ones that got that cut out, there's a head bolt that goes there. It's 1, 3, 5, and 7. Starting from this end, gets the ones with the cutout. And number 3 is the one that oils. So you can't be getting that mixed up like I just did this. I don't know where this come from. Oh, here. Anyway, what we're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the one we're going to put right here and work our way out. Just like it right there. Put a bolt in it so to hold it in place. Then I got to clean this up a little bit. I wish I had time to knock all this rust off, but fellas, I don't. This is, yeah, a lot of work. The ball end goes on that side, just like that right there. Then you get another stand. Make sure it's facing the right way. Put that feller right there. Get another bolt. Like that right there. So on and so forth. Let me get this done. I'll be back and let y'all get a peek at this little feller operating like it should, hopefully. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Look at them spinny, spin, spin. Oh yeah, ain't none of them hanging up now. And then 1, 2, 3. Does it have an oil hole? Yep. Wait a minute. This is the wrong end, I think. 1, 2, 3. Does it have an oil hole? Yes, sir, it does too. All right. Tell you what, just to make sure I got this right, let's go see what it looks like on the motor. Make sure everything's, you know, like it's supposed to be. It's got to go that way. Make sure they line up. Do we have a hole there? Yep. So this is going to be a little aggravating to get all this like it goes. But I feel like we can do it. All right, I'm almost there. No, I'm not. When I get this figured out, I'll be back. Well, I swapped to this side over here because the push rods, they didn't look right. Look like they're going to rub the head. Well, they're doing the same thing over here. So I took it off and compared it to the other one that I have not took apart. They're exactly the same. So I guess that's how it's made. So let me tighten it up slowly so we don't break nothing. I was wondering if something like this was going to happen, break something that, you know, is made of unobtainium. That right there, I hope y'all see it or not. My splitter, yep, got it a little too tight. I shouldn't have been using that, nope. Let me run these down by hand. And it's gonna be what it is, because there's no way I can get another one of them, especially in time, you know, to finish up. Well, I looked up torque specs and it says 12 feetage pounds, that's it. And it also says don't over tighten or you will bust one, like we did there. Yep, that's 12 right there. It ain't much, nope, sure ain't. Oh well, live and you learn, fellers. This is my first International I've ever rebuilt, and I don't normally mess with that's too tight right there. I don't normally mess with shaft mount rockers. You know, it's always small block shimmy leg stuff. But anyway, we're gonna run it like it is. Hopefully it won't fly apart, but if it does, well, it just does. Well, we got one hooked up at least. I want to make sure all these are where they're supposed to be. Also, the one that split because I tightened it up too much, well, it's the one that was already busted. Like it had frozen busted. Remember me showing you that a couple of days ago? I don't feel too bad about that now. I'll see if I can find one, but kind of doubt it. Well, I think I'm going to go in the house. I know I said I wanted to get this done today, but no, it ain't happening. I've been out here probably 10 hours. The old knees have said, no, sir, we're done. So, yeah, I'm going to hobble in the house, give me something to eat, go to edit the video for a couple hours, come back out here. Hopefully tomorrow we will finish this up. And like I said, it's supposed to be cold tomorrow. I'm not working in the cold. Nope, I don't get paid enough to do that. So 2 days from now, hopefully we'll get this thing in the truck and fire it up and might drive it over here. I don't know. You'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I got the other rocker arm shaft assembly done. I cleaned up about like that over there. As you can see, it's still pretty rusty, but they are free. Something else I had forgotten about, the bolts that bolt them down, they go through the intake runner. So I put thread sealer on, had to take these back off and do the same thing. I tightened these down to 12 feetage pounds. Yep, I didn't ram them down with the gun. Fixing to put the intake manifold on. Here's the gasket. That's it, just a steel shim. This says manifold side, and same thing over here. So let me get that heavy manifold set on here and we'll bolt her down. Oh yeah, this thing weighs about 982 poundages. Let's pick it up and go. Why in the world did they have to make these fellers so that blame heavy? Goodness gracious. Right there, let me get some bolts. Can we get the holes? Well, these bolts are not long enough there. The end ones need to be longer. I think these will work right here though. I can get them started. According to the interwebs, it gets 30 feetage pounds. I didn't look up the pattern. I just don't care. I'm gonna sort of guess at it about like a small block Chevrolet. All right, I'm gonna run through them one more time. Then we'll get the valve covers on. It's got little tabs sticking up. The valve cover gasket's got little slots for said tabs. I think that's pretty neat. That'll hold it in place because I'm out of RT&V to glue it in place with. Let me put this one on and then we'll get the valve covers on. Let's put the, what's that called, thermostat housing on. I hope I didn't throw the thermostat away. And then we'll put the front end on. I almost forgot about the old carburetor device. Yeah, I just tore it apart. It would have been fine, but our needle, it won't hold. I can blow through the inlet and it's still letting air through, even if I push on the float. So we gotta have a rebuild kit. The accelerator pump probably would have been just fine, but I did tear gaskets too. So what we're gonna do with these little fellers here, those gaskets, let me tell you, Holley gaskets, whoo man, talk about a pain. So we're gonna soak them fellers right down in there. Let that sit overnight. Hopefully them gaskets will come off there. I gotta order a rebuild kit. It'll be here in the morning. But let's look at this motor here, because she is fully assembled minus the carb. Of course, we've got to put her clutch on, flywheel. But would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Yep. I've got to rig up a device to turn the oil pump. Let me show you on the distributor. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just get me a rod and make it slotted like that right there. Let me see what I can come up with, and we'll put some Earls in it. I got to go to the store and get Earl because I ain't got, well, I better go get some more because I ain't got like 3 quarts in here. Yeah, let me go get some more oil. I'll rig us up a primer and we'll see if this feller's gonna pump oil to the top. Well, I made me a drive tool for the oil pump. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. You know, I ground it. So it's not centered. It's, you know, probably gonna wobble real bad, but we're gonna give her the old try. Of course, I got good old dollar store Earl right here. Hi-ya! It's good enough for this motor. Oh yeah, I don't know how much it holds. That's a pretty good size Earl pan. I got 7 quarts. Surely that's enough. If it ain't, well, I'll have to go get some more. Well, sure, won't she pump this time? You know, I don't know. I don't guess so. Well, maybe. Small block Chevrolet, in order to pump oil everywhere, you got to have the distributor in because it blocks some of the oil, makes it go somewhere. This one here, though, let me look at it with the flashlight. I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know for sure. We may be just, you know, wasting our time. Let me pump on it a little bit more and we'll pull a valve cover off, see what we got going on. Is there any Earl up here? No, sir. Bone dry. That's not a good sign. Nope, sure ain't. I see oil in the lifter valley. It's coming out of the lifters, but these act like they're not pumping up. See that right there? Acts like that lifter ain't pumping up. That one there, same way. I was sort of afraid of that. There's another one there. There's 3 on this side that act like they're not pumping up, but I can see oil coming out of them. So that's not good. Nope. Let me rotate the motor over a little bit. I know on the Chevrolet and probably a Ford too, you got to rotate it, get things lined up to get everything pumping oil where it needs to be. It'd be nice if we could see some oil on this rocker arm assembly too. Let me keep on. I'll be back in a little while, let you know if anything has improved. Here's the deal, fellers. I don't know what's going on. No, I'm not getting any oil in either rocker arm assembly. I did rotate the motor over and watched each valve, each rocker arm, how much it moved. They're all moving what appears to be a normal amount, except for that fella there. See, there, right there. The what's that thing called? Lifter. It's collapsed. It will pump up. Well, just watch. I'll run the drill, and you'll see that move. Where's it at? See it move when I put oil pressure to it, but I can make it collapse again. So we got at least one bad lifter. I checked all these over here too. They're all moving a normal amount. None of them feel like they're just, collapsed to nothing. But I'm not getting any oil up here. I don't know why. I think I'm gonna go in the house, take a little break, get off my feet. I'm gonna study the oiling system on these. Because like on a small block Chevrolet, you have to have the distributor in or you won't get oil pressure everywhere. And maybe what's going on here, I may need that in there to make oil come up through here and through here. Let me do some study on that. I'll be back in a little while. Well, I did a quick search and I found a oiling diagram. No, you don't have to have the distributor in to get oil delivered everywhere like a small block Chevrolet. The feller that posted that diagram, it was on a message board. He claims you can pull the valve covers off these things and drive it. That's how little oil gets up in here. Somebody else said in the same thread that when cam bearings get wore, it'll quit oiling lifters and this up here. Well, the lifters are getting plenty of oil. I can see that. But we're getting nothing up here. Matter of fact, I pulled the rockers loose. And this hole right here where my finger is, that's where the Earl's will be coming up through. It ain't. No, sir, it's bone dry. I'll hit the drill and y'all watch. Ain't nothing. Not a thing coming out of it. I am afraid, knowing MLS is probably true, I'm afraid that I have put the head gaskets on wrong. It didn't say this side up or anything like that. I just put the letters and numbers up like I normally do. Let me go in the house, get on computer with the big screen. Look at videos last night of me putting the heads on. Maybe I can catch a glimpse of if I've got this hole blocked with a head gasket or not. If I do, well, I got to tear the top end back apart. Yep, sure do. Great. Awesome. It's late. I'm hungry, and I'm sort of a little bit perturbed at this point. I'm pretty sure that's probably the issue. I'm not going to run it like that. I'm not going to go through all this trouble and then not have oil get up here. Nope. Let me figure that out. If it is, I'll have to order 2 more head gaskets, and that'll be a day or 2 or 3 before we can do that. And I don't think I'm ever going to get done with this. I don't think the video's ever going to come out. But anyway, let me go in and check that, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll let you know what I found. I just got back from Ireland with this carb kit right here. Got the carb rebuilt. I got spark plugs, so I forgot all about that. Yep, sure did. And of course, I forgot about the spark plug wires. We will steal wires off of a motor around here somewhere. What else? Oh, I figured out the oiling issue to the rocker arm assemblies. I'll tell you about that here in a minute. That was a load off my mind last night. I really didn't want to tear that motor back apart. Anyway, let me get this back together and we'll go over and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Somebody done snuck in here and painted this motor. Who in the world did that? What in the world, man? That is not International Red, as you can probably tell. It is the red I had in the cabinet red. Well, let me tell you exactly what it is. Krylon, where's it at? Satin Pimento. That's close enough, ain't it? I don't care, fellas. I just wanted it, all one color. Anyway, here's what I figured out about our oiling issue. The cam bearing journal on the cam has a hole drilled through it. It's got to line up with 2 holes perfectly before you get oil up here. The only way I know to do it is, start my drill, turn the oil pump, and just start turning the crank just a little at a time. wash our hole over there. When we start getting oil, then we know we're good. So let me do that. I'm in a hurry. That's what I am. We got to get this thing in that truck, get it running today, fellas. Time's running out. It started raining a minute ago too, so that's just another wrench thrown into the works. Anyway, let me get this set up, see if we can get some oil flowing up here. Well, turn the crank a little bit more. Y'all watch this. She's a gusher now. Oh yeah, I'm making a mess. Let me put this rocker arm assembly back on. We're not getting nothing over here yet, so I'm assuming it's at a different location. Let me find that and put this back together, and then I'll be back. Y'all look at this. I got a lifter in my hand. Well, how did that happen? Because the intake's still on. The valley cover's still on. Well, it's very easy. It fits through this big giant hole in the head. This is the lifter. Remember last night wouldn't stay pumped up. And I had come across a guy that did this. I believe it was a video on YouTube. So last night I thought, I'll tell you what, that's what I'll do. I'll pull that lifter out, tear it apart, see what's going on. So let me do that. Let me get over here to the table, tear this apart, see what's going on. And hopefully I can fix this, and then we'll get this put back together and hopefully get oil on the other side. There you have it, fellas. I got it tore apart. This came out easy. Of course, you know, that's a little clip that holds everything in. This was the problem. It's, they call it, I think they call it the plunger. It's supposed to move up and down. You got a spring there. Well, nothing was moving. Well, I got to beating and banging on it, and it started rattling. I don't know what's rattling, but anyway, I kept on fiddling with it. I got the plunger out. I have put some sandpaper down in there to get rid of some of that rust. So I think it's going to work now. Let me put it back together, get it back in the motor, and proceed to get oil pressure on the other side of the motor. And then, well, it just started raining again. I don't know if we'll get it in today or not, fellas, but I'm going to try my best. We'll see what happens. I decided to video me putting this back in there just in case I drop it and can't get it back out. Well, it'd be good comedic entertainment, I guess. Get in there, buddy. You're right there at it. Come on, get in there. Let me get my long screwdriver. What do I do with it? And by long screwdriver, I mean a long screwdriver. Yep. I'm right there in the hole. It just won't go in. There we go. She went right there, buddy. Look at here. Look at here. That's awesome. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Oh, yeah. I want to get on camera that we do have oil over here. Once I got the rockers on over here, I hit the drill. Oh, yeah, I saw oil flowing all through the rocker shaft. Awesome. Be back in a little while. Well, here's the latest in the International Loadstar 1600 304 V8 saga. I got all the oil and stuff done. I showed y'all that. I'm starting on ignition. I got the plugs in. Got her timed on top dead center number 8. That's how you do an international. Not 1, but 8. Your timing mark is on cylinder 8. Got to looking at the distributor. I was going to file the points and set the gap and all that. Well, let me get a screwdriver and I'll show you. This black piece right here, that's what the points are bolted to. Well, watch, it just moves all over the place. It's not secure at all, and if that's not secure, then you can't set your gap and the points don't open. When I rotate it, you can see that black thing, the whole thing moves. That ain't gonna work. Nope. I've already had it apart, thinking maybe there was a screw loose on the black part. There's no place for a screw. I don't know what's supposed to hold it in place. Without the distributor, we ain't gonna have a motor running. Nope. I can buy a new one, but man, they're $250, and it ain't worth that. It really ain't. Let me do a little research, and maybe I'm missing something, and there's supposed to be a screw or something somewhere. I'll let you know here in a little while what I find out. Well, it's been 2 or 3 days since I have fooled with this thing. Worked on something else for a little bit. I believe I left y'all off with not knowing if I'm going to have a distributor or not. Well, let me just show you. I'll turn the camera around and show you what I got. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? We got us a distributor sitting in the motor, timed, ready to go. Let me tell you the story very quickly. That night I got on Facebook Marketplace and I said, let's just, on a whim, do a search, International V8 parts. Lo and behold, first result, it was a fella that had an International Scout V8 tore apart. And in one of the pictures here laid this little fella right in the middle of the pile of parts. And he was only 12 miles away. Yep, when he got it immediately, I think I gave him $25 for it, pretty cheap. Oh yeah. Like I said, it's timed. I think I mentioned it the other day. You time these off of cylinder 8, not number 1. You know, Chevrolet, time it off number 1. Get that on top dead center and have your rotor pointing to number 1. Well, this one you time it off of number 8. Get into on top dead center, rotor pointing to number 8. That's this one right here. The fire order is the same, 1843657 You just time it on number 8. Also, let me show you this real quick if I can find it. Oh, I think it may still be in the clutch. Yep. I didn't have a lineup shaft to fit this feller. Well, I got to looking through my lineup shafts, and look at here what I found. This fits GM 4-speed like what's in Dude in the 40. And, well, you notice there's lots of blue tape. Well, this part didn't match the, what is that called? The bearing in there? Pilot bearing. Yeah, that's what it's called. So I just took some painter's tape and wrap until I got it fitting tight, and there you go. Hopefully this works. When we go to putting it in the motor, let's see if it'll slip back in there. Well, not really. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I don't know, fellers, but we're going to give her the old try. Yep. Right now, what we're going to do, I think I got this thing done, except for I need a coil wire. I'll rob that off something. These came off the 360 motor out of that blue Ford that had the tree growing out of the bed. That's where they come from, but the coil wire's gone. I'll find a coil wire. I've looped these 2 heater things. I got this hose, but we don't have a bottom one. I'll have to find a belt also, and I got to hook up oil and temp gauge. I don't even know where you hook them up. There's one here. I don't know what that is. I'll figure that out. But anyway, what I'm going to do right now, I've been busy doing other stuff today. I ain't got a whole lot of time. We don't have enough time to put this in the truck. So what I'm fixing to do, go over there to the truck, and I'm going to work on the clutch system, because I do plan on driving it. Yep. Anyways, let's head on over and see if we can't do that. Here's what I'm thinking about trying. Firstly, let's pop the top on this feller here. Maybe not. Let me get a screwdriver. I'll pop the top on that. Look inside of it, because I haven't looked in it. And fill it with fluid. Try to bleed it. Just see what happens. Oh yeah, she's she's bone dry, and I think we got rust all up in it too. Let me get up in here and see. Well, yeah, it's some crustaceans of certain types. Tell you what, let me see if I can clean it out. I just like to see if it'll work. That's what's in it. Yeah. Well, I feel like it's about as clean as I'm going to get it. So let's pour some fluids in it. See what happens. Oh yeah! Ooh, that hurt my finger. All right, I got to go underneath. There's a little bleeder on the slave cylinder. I'm going to see if it will gravity bleed firstly. And then I'll come back and I will let y'all know where we're at. Well, I got inside and went to work in the pedal. It didn't feel like nothing was happening. All of a sudden, I heard a little squirt down here. We got some fluid dripping. I don't know if you can see that or not. As soon as I get some help, we may try to bleed this, like we should. I may fool the brakes a little bit, if this clutch goes to working pretty easily. We'll just have to wait and see. But let me see if I can get a helper and we'll bleed that firstly. Well, I started getting quite a bit of fluid out of it, just gravity bleeding. I got to thinking, if we try to bleed it without any resistance, we may push the piston out of the slave. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is get in there and barely move the pedal. Y'all watch. Tell me if you see that throwout bearing moving or not. I'm very slowly and very gently going to push the pedal down. Well, fellas, we got some resistance going on here, but it acts like the pedal's stuck. It was not a minute ago. Here's my hypothesis. The pedal pushed fine with the bleeder screw open, so that tells me the pedal itself is not stuck. Close the bleeder and it won't move. Well, it could be two things, one of two things, or it could be both of them. The piston in the slave cylinder is stuck, or the throwout bearing mechanism is stuck, or it could be both. Let me get the throw-out bearing mechanism free. And if it still won't move, then it's most likely the piston and the slave. Might have to get a little rough with it, you know, pushing on the pedal, get it to break free. If it won't, I got another slave, we can change it out. But let me see about getting this other stuff freed up first. Well, it's pretty obvious that it's not the mechanism. As you can see, it's moving. So, the piston in that slave is stuck, and there's fluid on the shaft that sticks into it. So, yeah, I think I'll probably go ahead and change that out, but let me give her one swift kick and see what happens. All right, here we go. I'm gonna jam on this pedal. Oh, she broke free. Did it move? What happened? Let me look at the video and see what we got. Oh yeah, she moved. It's moving back and forth. I can hear it move the fluid. So I think we're gonna leave that for now till we get, you know, the transmission in. If it don't work, we'll have to put a new slave, but let's get rid of the mouse condo. And then just for, you know, giggles, let's put some fluid in the brakes. Actually, let me take that master cylinder off because it's full of rust. I need to at least turn it upside down and pour it out. Ma'am, where are you going? Come here. How are you doing this brisk day? Huh? Did you come over here to get some bologna? Well, you better say, hello, everybody. Been doing all right today? Oh, get off me, you crazy thing. I ain't got no bologna. You're a weird little dog. All right, go get you the bologna. Crazy thing. Well, here's the deal. This has brakes like my dump truck does. The master cylinder is up under the cab with a big old vacuum booster on it. It's got a certain name. I can't remember what it's called, but I got up there and looked, and yeah, it's a mess. Bunch of lines rusted through. Fully on brakes. We don't need them, no. It's a manual. We ain't gonna be going that fast, so yeah, fully on brakes. I think what I'm gonna do now is, well, let me just turn the camera around and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. It's pretty doggone nasty in here, so I think I'm gonna spend the next hour or so, probably gonna have to go get my vacuum, cleaning this up. Pretty disgusting, yeah. Might need to get a mask too. Up under the seat, y'all done seen all that. We'll clean this thing out. I ain't gonna bore y'all with that. Tomorrow morning, well, it won't be morning because I got to go to town and do some stuff. When I get back from town, we're gonna set that little motor down in here. Fingers crossed that the little feller fires up. Well, today is the day. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that we put this behemoth of a motor into this truck and hopefully hear it run and drive. But we got an issue with the driving part. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Let me tell you about this little portly feller. This is a 3/4 ton HD suspension on this truck. When I set that motor down in there, well, you can see she squatted quite a bit. So I looked it up online. This little feller weighs 700 pounds. Yep, sure does. That is a portly little motor for a 304. Yeah. Anyway, let me get the tractor, get this motor picked up. I ain't gonna show a whole lot of this because it's just, you know, putting the motor in, and we are way long on this video. When I come back, hopefully we'll have everything hooked up and ready to go. Oh, let me tell you about the driving part yesterday when I was in here cleaning out all the mouse house. Well, I grabbed a hold of the gear shift. It won't move. It's stuck in gear. Yep. We may have an issue as far as driving it, but anyway, let me get this motor picked up, put it in the truck. This is a very precarious situation because this boom is laying over to the side. I hope it don't break or bend when I get over the truck, because it could be horrendous with this fat little feller. Slowly, go down slowly, sir. Well, my lift won't go down, so that's good. That's real good. Yep. I got to pull forward, see what's going on with my lift on the tractor. Yep, there she went. There she went. Yep, that's boom number 2 that this big motor has destroyed. This ain't mine, this is my handy dandy assistant's boom. I'll have to fix it or buy him a new one. I don't know what's wrong with the lift on the tractor. Kept going down with the lever, and it wouldn't move. And then all of a sudden, wham! Y'all saw it. Yep. I hope it didn't hurt the motor. Let me see. Did it crush the Earl pan? Let me get over here and look at it real quick like. Yeah, I think we're okay. Let me get this unhooked, and only thing left is to use the front end loader. I didn't want to do that, but there's just not enough room to maneuver and all that. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do. Well, my handy dandy assistant's gonna help me. He went to get a logging chain. I thought I had one over here, but I guess I took both of them to my house. But let me show you something else I just discovered a few minutes ago. We had a pretty good storm here. Well, it bent the flagpole. There's a tree down over yonder. It broke that crabapple tree. And, well, this was already rotten. It knocked it across my old Packard here. I don't think it tore nothing up, but no, it looks okay. I mean, it's a pile of garbage anyway, but I don't think it hurt nothing. The hood don't look bent. This was already busted, so I think we're good. Get off of there, you little dumb log. Anyway, as soon as he gets back with the chain, we'll attempt number 2 to put this motor in this truck. Well, look at here who just showed up. What are you doing? Huh? You done had bologna twice today that I know of. You ain't getting no more. Nope. Let me get under it, see if I can see anything. Well, I felt like I wrestled a bear for the last hour, but the little feller is in. Yes, sir. We got it bolted to the transmission, and the next step is to hear little fella run, but I'm not going to put everything on just to do that. I got to put the front motor mount on, exhaust, battery, wire it up, carburetor device with the fuel system. Then we can fire it up, or at least try to. So give me an hour or so. I'll be back and we'll give it the old try. Yep. The never-ending project that never ends is still going. Starter don't work. Yep. I've been fooling with it for 30 minutes now, and all she'll do is this right here. That's it. Yep. Y'all remember seeing me, put it on the bench? Wait a minute, look here. Miss Daisy. What are you doing, girl? This dog thinks she lives over here. What are you doing, ma'am? You done had probably 15 pieces of bologna today, ain't you? Huh? Go home. All right. We'll see you in the morning. All right. Bye-bye. Go home. She usually goes on when I tell her to. Anyway, where was that? Voltage is dropping to like 11.1 volts, which tells me probably ain't a connection. It's the starter for whatever reason. I should have took it apart and cleaned it, but we had it on the bench and she spun over just fine. I don't know. Let me pull that starter. It's not going to be fun. That top bolt, I can't even see it, barely feel it. I'm going to pull the starter off, take it home, tear it apart tonight, and we'll come back again tomorrow. And maybe we'll fire it up. I don't know, fellers. Well, I got the starter out. That's not the easiest thing in the world to accomplish on this truck. But y'all watch this right here. I don't know. Somebody explain it to me. Only thing I can think of is we got a bad connection, but I've checked continuity to ground and motor and ground the frame, power to the, I don't know. Ain't got a clue. I'm a little disgusted, just a little bit. It's getting dark. I'm going to the house. We'll fool with it tomorrow. It's, possibly this ground. I don't know. We'll fool with it tomorrow. Listen. Whether or not that's fast enough to start it, well, it's yet to be seen, but at least it is turning over. Let me tell you what the issue was. Once again, a little bit of doomishness involved on this truck. Seems to happen a lot here lately, but remember the ground strap that we pulled into when we pulled the motor out? When I say we, I mean me. I'm the only doomis here. I forgot to hook that back up. So there was no ground to the motor for the starter. That's what it was. I realized that about 17 seconds after I turned the camera off yesterday evening. Yep, I said, that's what it is. Fixed the ground. Spent an hour and a half trying to get the starter back in. You can barely get one or two little fingers on the top bolt of the starter. Sort of like a Ford starter. Ignorant. But anyway, 3 hours later, fooling with something I didn't need to fool with, it is turning over. Let me get some gasoline hooked up, get the ignition wire hooked up. We'll give her the old try. Well, it's approximately 2 hours later. Yeah. I got to chasing a squirrel. I sort of caught him. I got to fooling with the electrical. I can't help it, fellas. I just like getting this old stuff working. That's fun to me. Troubleshooting electrical, yeah, well, I mean, to a point. But anyway, got the key switch cleaned up. It'll turn the motor over now with the key. We're getting power out here to the coil. I am getting spark. I done checked that. Only thing left to do, I got my fuel hooked up. Only thing left to do, fill her up, give her the old try. All right, let's give her a drink of the gasolines. Fill that bowl up. Little bit to grow on. I ain't got a clue about the timing, but fire in a hole. Well, she ain't even thinking about trying. Let me give her a little bit of timing. Ah, dog, that shocked me. Oh, yeah. How did it do that? Whoo, that hurt. I have to run a jumper wire because, well, it's a long story, but I have to have a jumper wire while it's trying to start. And I guess that come loose. Man, that hurt. Ooh. Anyway, let's give her a little bit of timing. See what happens right there. Hook my jumper wire back up. The reason I have to have this, the post on the starter that sends 12 volts to the coil while it's cranking, that broke off. So I have to do this or I don't get enough voltage for it to spark. Anyways, fire in the hole once again. Let me see if this squirter's working. No, sir. Huh. Give her some more to drink on. Well, we are pumping fuel now because I'm leaking up here on my float level. So let me tighten that up real quick. All right, now, maybe we won't catch on fire. Fellers, I ain't even getting no suction on my hand on the carb. I didn't think to do a compression check, but I mean, I've had them a lot worse fire up. Let me make sure we're getting fire. Yeah, we're getting fire. I may have to juice the battery up either with the jumper cables or hook 24 volts to it. I don't care at this point. Much time I've spent on this, I want it to run. Let me pull the spark plug out and let's just feel what kind of compression we got. Well, it's puffing twice as if the exhaust is not opening. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me go to the house and get my compression tester. I want to look up and see what kind of compression they call for instead of just guessing. Yep, because it may be wore out. It may not run. Well, it ain't good, fellers. No, it ain't good at all. We're getting this in here. It might be hitting 10 PSIs. This in here. Oh, it's hitting about 30-ish. Yep. Valves. Never thought about lapping the valves in or nothing like that. That's probably the issue. Well, I got 24 voltages hooked up to it, and let me tell you, she spins. This is spark plugs out, but let's do it. Oh yeah. I check compression again, and this first one is like 50 or 60. Probably ain't gonna run. Second one's dead. Third, fourth, and then two back here, they're over 100. That's good enough. Then I believe this one was about 75, and this one here was, it might have been around 100. I don't remember, but I think we got enough good ones that it should run now that we're spinning the motor over fast enough. So me put the plugs back in, give her one last try. I really don't want to have to pull this motor. I got the plugs in, and I look down the carb, the pump shot's still not working, and I saw fuel gathering at the bottom. Took the level plug out for the float level. It just poured and poured and poured. So I got the float level set as low as it'll go. I don't know. I don't know if that's not holding, what the deal is. Brand new rebuild kit, brand new accelerator pump. Doesn't work. I'm not surprised with the way things have been going. Oh crap, don't do that. This is 12 volts here going to this coil. Don't want 24 because you'll burn it up very quickly. Let's spin it over, see what it does. It tried a little bit. Let me give it some timing, but I can't give it a whole lot because there's just not enough room here to move this distributor. That's all I got right there. Let's give her another try and see what happens. I'm smoking some battery cables over here, so that's good. Here's what I got going on. I'm charging this battery up, and I put a better ground on it. I got one running right straight to the motor instead of running through the rusty body. Y'all listen, she turns over a lot better. This is with one battery. Well, it's trying to start. It really is. My coil wire has come off, so that's very promising, fellas. Let me fix this coil wire and we'll give her the old try. All right, I got her on start. That's gonna help us out, plus that extra ground. Let's give her the old try, fellas, see what it does. My pump shot, I took the carb apart while I was waiting on that to charge, and for whatever reason, it's locking up. It's like it stopped up somewhere. So we're gonna have to give her a drink of the gasolines this way. I believe with a little bit of work, I believe it may fire up. It's about dark. I've wasted all day long on this stupid thing again today. Let me give her one more try, and then I think we'll pull the carb off. I'll go to the shop, work on that tonight, and we'll have to come back tomorrow. I can't give it any more timing because we're hitting. Let me go back the other way and see what it does. No, it don't like that at all. It wants more timing, I think, and I can't give it anymore. Yeah, I think we got two things going on. Let me tell you about it. The first thing is, like I told you, I ain't got no pump shot. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna take carb off, take it home, we'll look at it. Number two, ain't got enough timing. I'm gonna have to jump a tooth because, well, let me turn the camera around and I'll just show you. Vacuum advance is hitting over here, and then you can turn it approximately this much here, and then the distributor's hitting the water pump down there. It ain't just about that much movement. That ain't worth a crapola. So probably won't do it today, do it tomorrow. Pull this off, turn it one tooth, put it back in. That way we can get a little more advance. I'm trying my best, fellas, to get this stupid thing running. Part of the issue is a lot of doomlessness going on. I've been working on this 11, 12 days now. The last 2 to 3 days, I've been in too much of a hurry because I'm going out of town here in a few days. And I need to have this done for, you know, the next video. So I'm in a rush and I'm making rookie mistakes, a lot of them. So I got to calm down. And I think we're in pretty good position now. It's trying to fire. I think it wants a little more timing. We got a little bit better starter battery electrical system going on. I think we may be, you know, there. Close, real close. Tomorrow. I know I've said it for the last 2 or 3 days. Hopefully this thing will run. See y'all then. Well, I do believe I have figured out why we have no accelerator pump shot. See this little fella right here? It's a check valve. See how it's tapered on the end? Well, it goes down in this hole right here where my little pointer is. And then this feller goes on top of that. This is where your squirting comes from for your accelerator pump. Yep. It was stuck. And it's stuck, then you ain't gonna let nothing by. If you don't have it, then it won't let it suck anything up into your accelerator pump area. You got to have it. So glad I got that figured out. Let me put that back together. We'll be done with this, but it's like I said a little while ago. This is me being in a hurry. I thought I checked all the passages. I did not check that fella right there, apparently. Here we are, once again. I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't gonna say hopefully it'll run today. Hopefully it doesn't run today. How about that, buddy? Yeah, keep messing with me. Carbon's back on. I got my distributor turned 1 tooth this way, plus I ground on the distributor, and y'all look here now. Oh yeah, we got all kind of movement. This is just the wrong way. You know, I need to go that way to advance. So move to 1 tooth. Hopefully that's enough. I gotta fix my stupid coil wire again. It keeps coming off. I should have got a better one, but anyway, maybe that'll do. Let's set y'all up on the camera stand, y'all. Every one of you, cross your fingers right now that this little fella's gonna fire up. Well, let me give her a drink of the gasolines. I got my sight glass plug out. We're gonna fill her up till she comes out there. There we go. Give her a little bit to grow on there once again. Fire in the hole. Well, it ain't even trying today. I think my pump shot's working. Oh yeah, we got good pump shot now. All right, there ain't no excuse for you not to fire now, buddy. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Let me let that starter rest. It is kind of old, like me. She's thinking about it. I believe we can get her to run eventually. Well, the starter ain't even warm. Let's give her another try. Here we go, once more. Well, I got to cut her off because I got fuel just a gushing out of the carb. Let me lower that float just as far as it'll go, see what happens. But hey, she ran. If we don't do nothing else, fellas, we have accomplished at least one goal. Let me soak this fuel up, you know, just in case we have a backfire. I don't want to set it on fire. It ain't running great, but it did run. It sure did. All right, let's give her another try. Here we go. I'm gonna sit there and idle. Oh yeah, buddy. I don't know what that popping noise is when I let off. That's an odd sound, but hey, at least she runs. That is awesome. Let me turn this off here. Let's see if the key cuts it off. Oh yeah? Let's see if a key will start it. The throttle hung on me. That ain't good. Oh, the throttle came loose. So we'll have to put a pin in that if I don't see a hole for it. Anyway, we'll fix that. But yes, she runs. Let me tell y'all something. That is the best music I've heard in a long, long time, because this has been a doozy. It sure has. Here's what I'm gonna do. Now that we know it runs, it ain't running great. It's missing on 1 or 2 cylinders. Like I said, 1 and 3 over here, they don't look great. I think 2 was kind of low, but I'm hoping maybe they'll come back around once it warms up and runs a little bit. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut this camera off. I'm gonna put the front end back on, radiator and all that. I gotta find a belt and a hose. I'll be back in, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. We're gonna see if this thing will drive. We sure are. See y'all in a little bit. Well, there's the deal, fellers. I had to wait yet another day on this never-ending project. I don't think I'm ever gonna get done. I couldn't find a belt. Well, I found one. I didn't have one. None of the stores had one in stock. So the older gentleman, you know, one we got so many vehicles from, he had this belt. Right length, wrong width, because these pulleys are so out of line. That alternator is way out front, and the water pump to the crank is all cockeyed. And this wide belt didn't fit down in the groove, and it would sling it as soon as you revved it. I got that one there. I haven't tested it yet, but it does fit down in the groove, so maybe it'll make it, you know, to our destination. What I've done in the meantime, I filled it up with wooters. We only have 1 leak. Well, we did have, but I think it stopped. You know, this pipe here from the water pump to the front of the block, well, it's got O-rings on either end. I didn't replace them. It had a little hole over here, or a little leak over here, but it seems to have quit. I checked the grease in the transmission and rear end, because we may never use these, but I just, you know, I'm not one of these fellers that destroys things and makes millions of dollars doing it. Just, it ain't in my bones, fellers. Just the opposite. I want to get it running and use it. Anyway, just got done changing the clutch slave cylinder. I'm waiting for it to bleed. My level ain't dropped, so I don't know how long that's going to take. So that's what we're waiting on. Well, I'll tell you what, whilst we wait on that, let's fire this thing up, because it hasn't ran more than 15-20 seconds at a time. We need to run it and let it warm up, because I don't even know if the thermostat's going to open. Let's do that. Well, here she comes. Every day I've been over here, she comes to visit. She thinks she lives here. How are you doing, old girl? Huh? You doing all right? Say hello, everybody. Mama ain't home. You can't get no baloney right now. All right, I gotta go. We gotta work on this truck. We'll see you later, girl. Fire in the hole. Fire's right up, fellas. Pretty amazing. Yep, pretty amazing to be as wore out as it is. And that belt is way out of line. I ain't got no choke or fast idle. Let's try it again. I really do hope once we cycle it a time or two, all that popping quits. That pop in there, you know, is the valve not sealing. It fires and it's firing back to the intake. Man, I wish I'd give anything if I would have took them heads and at least laughed the valve, but oh well. Hindsight's 20/20, as they say, but I'm hoping we could heat cycle it a time or two. Maybe it'll go to acting right. Anyways, we'll let her warm up. I tried fixing the temp gauge earlier too, and it just, no, it don't want to. She is smoking a wee bit out of the passenger side. But if I'd been in that kind of shape, I'd smoke a little bit too. It sure would. Well, we're about 5 minutes into the runtime, and I think it's safe to say she is a smoker. Yep. I really hate that too. I thought it would do a little better than it did, because the cylinders didn't look that bad, but apparently one of them is. It could be valve seals, but I don't think they would smoke that bad, but it is possible. But anyway, I'm gonna let her run for another, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and then well, I gotta get this clutch to work. I can't get it to bleed. I ain't got no pedal at all. The reason I changed that slave out is because it leaked all the fluid out overnight the other day. But I am getting air, well, I was getting air out of it. Every time I work it, I'll get a little air out. Anyways, I will report back again here in a little while. Update. She still smokes. I ain't got no better at all. Thermostat did open. We got a little warmth going on. The level dropped. I put maybe a quart more in it. All pressure sending unit is working now. The wire had come off. I just have it wrapped around the prong. Y'all look at this oil pressure gauge though. It's kind of funny. It doesn't have high or low or 10, 15, 30, 45. What it has, let me see if I can get it to show. It has idle and run. We're not quite halfway. We're still on the idle, but at least it works. At least we know it's got the oil pressure. Of course, I can tell that by the way it sounds. It does have, I believe, one lifter that ain't doing right, and maybe the one that's popping through the car. But oh, look at this, fellas. It's sitting there purring like a kitten. After what it looked like, goodness gracious. Yep, not bad at all. Let me work on the clutch a little more, and then hopefully we can take it down the road. I got some more updates. Let's go back here and check the smoke. Yep, still a smoker. It may be a little better, but not much. Here's the deal though. I just took my little plastic fuse puller here. I pulled each plug wire. It's running on 4 cylinders. 1, 6, 5, and 7 dead. When you pull the wire, RPM does not change. They may contribute a little RPM, but 4 cylinders are dead, I'm pretty sure, due to the valve. You know, I didn't lap the valve in. Dummy me, I wish I would have done that. But anyway, whilst I was doing that, the fan may or may not have hit my knuckle, but the clutch is working good enough to get it in gear. So let's go over here to the basement, pump the tires up, and I think we'll head that way. Well, I'm fixing to pump the tires up, and guess what? It's about to rain. Yep, so we may wait. I think this thing's supposed to last for about an hour. We may wait till this passes, and then we'll head that way with it. Be the best course of action, I think, you know, considering what I'm driving. Yeah. I looked at the radar, and, well, I think we need to go on now. It's the best chance. Hopefully we won't run into a flood. Let's hit the road, Jack. I ain't got a clue where reverse is on this thing. Let's see what's right there. Nope. Nope. What about over here? Nope. Well, what about down here? Nope. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there we go. I have no idea. I'm assuming the, what's that called? 2-speed rear axle. I'm assuming it's in low gear, so gonna be a slow journey home. I gotta remember I have no brakes whatsoever, so I need to have the key in hand. Uh-oh, she quit on me. My gas pedal is acting up too. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying, I gotta remember I have no brakes on this thing, so I don't need to be pulling out in front of nobody. Here comes a car. We'll wait. All right, here we go. I don't know where second gear is. Maybe right. Oh crap. Oh, that ain't it. That ain't it. I think that's about third gear. It's gonna be a slow, bumpy ride. If it makes it at all. Uh-oh. What's happened? Oh, this ain't good, fellas. This ain't good at all. Well, I gotta call somebody. Come help me get it out of the road because we are right in the curve. Yep. Not good. All right, he's gonna put me back to the house, hopefully. And maybe we figure out why this thing won't run. We just will not start. Getting gas, I know that. I told him I have no brakes, so hopefully he remembers that. But if not, I'm gonna take that tailgate out. I guess I can put it in gear. Maybe not. There we go. Man, this thing, you gotta steer it fast. Whew. All right. Well, it's running. Here's what I think happened. You know, I'm running my ignition off the switch, and this wiring is a little iffy. So here's what I did. I run a jumper from the battery straight to the coil. Fired right up. I think we just lost juice, either due to connection or whatever. So I'm gonna wait a little while. Let's watch this rain. And I need an escort. He's busy working on stuff. So as soon as I get an escort, we'll give it one more try, because I won't get this little fella to my house. I also know, by the way, well, it just miraculously quit smoking. It ain't smoking a bit. It's got a dead miss. I can hear it. I don't know which side. This side over here is just cold. I believe we were running on 4 cylinders. And for the thing to run as good as it does on 4 cylinders, pretty neat. Come on. I think it was flooded. My gas pedal keeps bending over that way. I got to remember that. Anyways, let's try her one more time. Was that first gear and that's reverse? Yeah, all right. Let's take off at second gear. Oh crap, I can't cut it off now, so I can't use the clutch as a brake. That's not good. Here we go. Well, we made it further than we did first time. There's high gear. We cooking now, buddy.
fireworks. It says we're doing 40, but I don't believe that. More like 25. Oh crap, we better slow down a little bit. Starting to gallop. I'm sure the tires are flat spotted. My gas pedal keeps bending on me. I don't see nothing coming, do y'all? Well, I almost made it, but I didn't cut it quite short enough and about to run off in the ditch. It won't start, so he's hooked to me. He's gonna pull me back a little bit and I'm gonna try to coast right on down in here. Hopefully I don't destroy things on the way, because you know, I ain't got no brakes. Let's see what happens. Man, that's a lot of turns on the steering wheel. Let me get the chain unhooked. Woo! Whole lot of sugar for a nickel, as my daddy would say. All right, here we go, fellers. I'm gonna try to not take out the vehicles, but I need to push. You going to push me a little bit? Yeah. I might have to get out and help. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go, fellers. I can't block the drive, so I gotta come on around this way. Easy now, easy. Do we call it a success? Yeah, I think. Not a great one, but yeah, I think we call it a success. We did make it run. We did drive it home. It made it 99.99% of the way home. We had to coast to, you know, last 150 foot, but yeah, I'm gonna say it is a success. We just think about it for a minute, fellers. It was stuck, could not get it unstuck, finally got her to move, and still did not want to turn over with a 3-foot breaker bar. Pulled the motor, pulled the valve cover off, and saw that rust. Most people would have said, nope, I'm done. Not me. I'm just dumb enough to clean it up and try to make it run again, and it did. But yeah, it's pretty amazing to think what that motor was. Now it ran good enough to drive it home at least. Well, here's what I can't figure out as far as, you know, the motor running so rough. When I was pulling the plug wires off the distributor, cylinders 1, 6, 5, and 7, they were dead. Pull the wire off, the RPM didn't change at all. Well, when I did a compression check, number 3, it had maybe 15 PSIs, and well, when you pull the plug wire off, it dies down. Cylinders 5 and 7, which, you know, according to that, are not firing, well, they had 100 plus PSIs of compression. Somebody explain it to me. It don't make any sense. I'm blaming it, you know, on the valves because I didn't lap them in due to the rust. Here's how I know they're leaking. After I cleaned them up, you know, I soaked them in the Purple Power, pulled them out, sprayed them off, and then I got my air hose, was blowing the water out. I was blowing air down in the intake ports of every one of them, and you could see bubbles coming around every single valve. And for why it, you know, didn't click in my brain then to lap the valves in, I don't know, fellers. I guess I was just tired of working on it. But I'm not sure that it ain't a combination of that and lifters, because the lifters were pretty bad. Some of them were stuck, and they may still be stuck. That popping back in the carb, that acts like when you've got a flat lobe on a cam, usually probably the exhaust, which I know that's not the case because, you know, we didn't have any flat lobes. Could be a collapsed lifter that's opening the exhaust just a wee bit or not even any at all. I don't know. I would like to sometime or another, if I can find a set of lifters cheap, let's just put them in there, see what it does, because you ain't got to pull the intake. Remember, we can pull them through the holes in the head, just pull the valve cover off, pull them out, put them in. If I can find some cheap ones, we might do that. But I really do wish I'd lapped the valves in, because it probably would run a little bit better. I was going to pressure wash the thing when I got home, but fellers, I'm over this truck. This has been probably the worst one I've ever done as far as the amount of work. It's been a tremendous amount of work. And then after all that work, have it run this bad. Yeah, I'm over the little feller. But you will see it again. I got plans for it. Different motor, and just, well, probably gonna make it a tow rig of some kind. Not sure exactly what yet, but yeah, you'll see this little feller again. I think we're gonna wrap it up because this video is way too long, but I wanted to tell the whole story in one video, beginning to end. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Remember, we're doing one video every 2 weeks right now, Saturday, 5 o'clock. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. See y'all then.